Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect.
My name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain, and I don't even know my name.
It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy, but I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams.
I know I can make it work. insane, weighing heavy on my brain.
Need you.
Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you?
Happy Saturday. Wow, that apparently I should always speak before I speak, if that makes sense. Clear out all that phlegm. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Everyone good today? Happy Saturday. Yay for Saturdays. Yay, Saturdays. So, how's everyone doing? Let me see who we have here. First of all, we have James Nordoff. Hello, James Nordoff. Always so glad to see you here. Hello, Inga, also known as Demosthenes. Hello, Demosthenes. As always, Demosthenes, so glad you're here. Thank you so much for the last couple of days, Demosthenes. The contributions, etc. Thank you very much, really. You've actually helped me get recap up to the amount I normally make each month. Before I was a little bit below it, but now I am on track. So thank you, Demosthenes. Okay. Hello, Sir Bart. Hello, Sir Bart. So glad you're here. Bart. Yeah, as always, Sir Bart, as always. Okay. Did you guys have tornadoes up there in Canada yesterday? Just out of curiosity, I'm guessing you had some, but maybe not where you are. Just curious. Hello, Retro Asher. Hello, Retro Asher. So glad you're here, Retro Asher. As always. Hello, Diego. Diego. So glad you're here, Diego. Let's see here. Louise. Hello, Louise. Oh God, so glad Louise is here as always. Let's see here. Who else do we get here? Mr. Kincaid. Hello, Mr. Kincaid. Mr. Kincaid. They're not gotcha, Sir Bart. Okay. Hello, Mr. Kincaid. So glad you're here. Of course, Alyssa. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Alyssa. Alyssa said, "Did you see Philip?" First of all, hello, Alyssa. I know you were uh I didn't see that, Alyssa, but I'm not surprised. Alyssa says, "Did you see we had a tornado 17 miles away from my work last night?" No, I didn't see that, but we are going to briefly, because I don't really have anything planned for today. We're just going to kind of look at random stuff as like a chill Saturday stream. But yeah, there were dozens of tornadoes yesterday. It was a horrific tornado outbreak, and several people died from what I heard, from what I'm heard, but they're still trying to count. They're still trying to figure out the number of casualties and the amount of destruction. Yeah, Alyssa. Yeah. Okay. And I have some. I was actually going to try to find some videos. So when there's like a tornado outbreak of this level, typically it takes about a day or about 12 hours for all the videos and all the um casualty numbers and all the damage to come out, because it's still dark in a lot of places and it takes a while. So yeah, there was a massive tornado outbreak last night. It was pretty harrowing to watch live. So I'm gonna do a little bit of investigating on that. Um, hello, LaCroix. Hello, LaCroix. Hello, LaCroix. How are you, LaCroix? It snowed here yesterday, so it's a chill Saturday. Oh, it snowed there. Where the fuck are you, LaCroix? Are you in like, you know what? Okay, is it like Colorado or some shit? That's really fucking random that it's still snowing. I'm sorry. I use the F word too much. I'm gonna try and be better about it. Denver. Okay, well there. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. All right. Anyway, let's see here. We got we got invalid axiom. Hello, invalid axiom. Hello, invalid axiom. Sorry, invalid axiom. We're not actually having a stream today. You can go somewhere else. Okay. This is you're having a hallucination. You should leave and go somewhere else. This isn't a real stream. Okay. Anyway, hello, invalid axiom. I'm just being an asshole, as you know. All right. You said your boss, Alyssa says your boss forced you all into the bathroom with drunk patrons. Oh, good God, Alyssa. I'm sorry. That's horrific. Okay. Sir Bart, there has been lots of rain, some flooding in parts, but it looks like rain finally gone for a bit. Excellent, Sir Bart. Yeah, we might get hit with a tornado today, actually, because the tornadoes and storms from yesterday were out further west, but we might get hit today. So I actually have the window open down here, and you guys will get to hear if there's a tornado siren. Anyway, all right, you guys. So hello, everyone. So glad everyone is here. I have no set plans. We're going to investigate some shit. We're going to see what's happening in the news. We're going to take a look to see if we're going to take a look to see if there's any interesting info about the tornadoes from yesterday, because I love tornadoes. And since we'd recently talked about the culture of in the Midwestern United States of tornadoes and shit, thought you guys might find it kind of interesting. And so we'll do that. We will what else? We got some other things we can look at. Yes, exactly, Sir Bar. Iran has closed the strait again. So let's start with that, as a matter of fact. So I'm actually going to go to Al Jazeera. I'm going to go to some sites here. We'll figure this stuff out together. Okay, let's take a look here, because it's so confusing at this point with the closing and the opening and the closing and the opening. All right. Jester maxing is a thing. Of course it is global. Right now, I'm not jester maxing at the moment, but I will. I might be later. All right. So let's see here. By the way, did you, Demosthenes, did you guys have any tornadoes yesterday over there in Indiana? It was spooky. I believe it's Alyssa. Okay. So let's take a look here. Yeah, it was basically invalid axiom. So we are going to do some politics, and we're going to be doing some regular news and stuff. So let's see here. So this is Al Jazeera. Trump says Iran cannot blackmail the U.S. All right, let's take a look. Let's see, what are the updates? The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says control of the Strait of Hormuz has now returned to its previous state. What do they mean, its previous state? Because there's been several previous states. Okay, yep, they've closed the strait. All right, so Iran has reclosed the Strait of Hormuz, which it was already closed because of the United States. Let's see here. Iran says it has closed the Strait of Hormuz again, calling the decision a response to the continued blockade of its ports by the United States. The Iranian military on Saturday said control of the strategic waterway through which 20% of globally traded oil transits has returned to its previous state, with reports saying Iranian gunboats fired at a merchant vessel that it was attempting to cross. Okay. Closure of the strait comes hours after it was reopened, with more than a dozen commercial ships passing through the waterway. I got to see here. How is this affecting? So, okay, it's closed again. It was already closed because of the United States, but I guess they've now completely closed it. The United States is closing access to ports on the Iranian side of the strait, but apparently Iran's now saying no ships are going through. Yeah, the stock market is insane. I don't understand. It is the most irrational bullshit imaginable. How the fuck are things still going so well? Well, the oil is dropping. Well, kind of. What is this? The cost of oil? I don't know. I can't read this shit. So this is. I think this is the cost of oil, is it not? No, it's not the cost of oil. Yeah. So this is showing that oil is not doing well. You know what? I need to figure out what the hell this means. I used to know. Regardless, the stock market does not appear to be keeping up with reality, as always. Interesting. Dinky, hello, Dinky Doibler. You stand with Palestine? Of course I stand with Palestine. Who wouldn't stand with Palestine? Only a goddamn sociopath wouldn't stand with Palestine, okay? Only a pro-genocide person wouldn't stand with Palestine. Only a Nazi wouldn't stand with Palestine. So yes, Dinky, I do stand with Palestine. Welcome to the stream. Bad week to see how the stock market has now priced in the uncertainty. Correct, Dinky. It's very bad to kill babies in Palestine. Not only kill babies, kill anyone in Palestine. Murdering anyone in mass and doing an ethnic cleansing is evil. Okay, it's the worst thing imaginable. All right. Okay. See, Lacroix stock market is made up and based off the confidence that rich people have about their money. Correct. Okay. I just love looking at the stock market recently, guys, to see how irrational it is and how it makes no sense. Dinky, Dinky, I do appreciate you being are you pro-Palestine, Dinky? I appreciate that, right? Those aren't babies, by the way, Dinky. That are those are fetuses, those are embryos, those are zygotes, those are not quote unquote babies that you're referring to. Okay. God, this is good, guys, because this will be kind of fun. Let's talk about this for a second, folks. We won't talk that long about it, but no, abortion is not killing 73 million babies. That's not what that is. Okay. That's not how that works. Those are not babies. Okay. And I want to point out, Dinky, do you know, Dinky, you kill tons of cells every single day when you take a shower. Well, maybe I hope you take a shower most days, but some people will take them one every couple days. Regardless, Dinky, you kill a ton of cells when you take a shower. So I guess you're evil too if you're murdering a bunch of you're killing a bunch of cells in your body. All right. I don't know. Okay. Not zygotes, by the way. What's not zygotes? Yeah, some abortions are removing zygotes, are they not? Or I should say, like, those aren't necessarily abortions, I guess. Those are, but it depends on definitions, regardless. Okay. So let's go on here. So again, so the Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz, which is interesting, very interesting. Okay, very interesting to me. So, okay, I'm trying to see what again, guys. We have nothing planned. We're just kind of looking around for the new people coming in here. All right, so we're seeing that the okay. So, okay, yeah. So Iran has reclosed the Strait of Hormuz. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah. So, again, this whole fucking conflict is insane. Dinky, this is a great start to the stream. Dinky, human life is like skin cells, but human life is in Palestine isn't. What are you talking about? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't think cells are good, Dinky. That's fantastic. Hey, Dinky, why do you like killing women so much? I know you're claiming to be pro-life, but you do know what happens when you limit abortions, right, Dinky? Do you think that women don't deserve to live? Because you know what happens when you limit abortions? Women start dying. Because women will seek abortions whether you limit it or not. It's gone on through all time and all history. And you know what happens if you make abortions illegal? Women will seek them out in non-medical environments, and which makes it much likelier that they'll die. Okay, so you are just pro-killing women. All right, so it's something to think about. Okay, for the pro-lifers out there, it's interesting how you pick and choose who you think is more valuable. I guess women aren't that valuable to you. Okay. Okay, Dinky. No, we're not gonna. No. Okay. No. All right. Moving on. So we're not pro femicide in here. Okay. All right. So moving on. So let's see what else is going on here, guys. What people think will be the impact of the Iran war? Thank you very much, Sir Bart. I was hoping someone would do that while I'm doing this. Thank you, Sir Bart. Well done. Okay, yeah, thank you, Sir Bart. You could tell. I hope you could tell. I hope you guys You could tell by my language there at the end when I'm done with the conversation. Okay, thank you for banning the person. All right. We're not going to be open to that shit. Okay, thank you. Yes. All right. Orban, I'm trying to see what else. So yeah, the ships. So I guess apparently some ships are being attacked now. Okay, some ships are being attacked now. 2 Indian flagships involved in shooting incident in Strait Foreign Ministry. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri says he's concerned. 2 Indian flagships involved in shooting. Okay. So apparently Iran has struck 2 Indian flagships who were still trying to cross the strait. You know what? I do feel kind of bad. Um, I vote for a new streamer. How dare you? I give the mods a lot of leeway. If they decide, I trust them to decide when a conversation has reached its limits. Sometimes I will ask people to be banned, or I will ban them myself. But most of the time, I kind of leave it up to them, because it's also harder for me to go in and try to do it myself. So how dare you invalid Axiom? Okay. Thank you so much, Sir Bart. All right. Okay. So yeah, it is like a toddler fight, Alyssa. It is like a toddler fight. I'm glad this war. Thank you, Sir Bart. Okay. I'm glad this war is playing out like yeah, it is. It's so stupid, Alyssa. So now, is this gonna ever end? I'm gonna lose my mind. Can we just like stop all this nonsense? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So stupid. We all right. I mean, the United, by the way, not on Iran's part. Iran's not to blame for this. The United States and Israel, obviously. Okay. By the way, Israel's bombing the hell out of Lebanon again. Interesting. So Iran is saying, all right. So Iran determined to control Strait until the end of the war. Iran's Supreme National Security Council, the country's top security body, said on state TV that Tehran is determined to enforce monitoring and control over transit through the Strait of Hormuz until the definitive end of the war and the establishment of a lasting peace in the region. The statement says this will be done by collecting full information from vessels passing through, issuing transit certificates, and requiring payment of service fees for security, safety, and environmental protection services. Okay. So Iran is well, I don't blame them. That's what the power they have. That is the power they have. Okay. All right. Give me a second here, guys. Let's see. So that's what's going on over there.
Why is
they are, no,
Blackstone?
I totally agree, Demosthenes. Iran is playing the optics game pretty well. Of course they can, Alyssa. Yeah, of course it did. Of course, guys. Of course, we're not surprised at all. Yeah, who saw that coming? They literally can't help themselves, Alyssa. And there was a report. There was a report out today, guys, of Israel was very mad, and they felt quote unquote slapped in the face when Trump announced the ceasefire, because they didn't want a ceasefire. Oh my God, it's like all of us were saying that this whole time. And apparently the entire media apparatus out there didn't realize that. I mean, except for left-wing sources, obviously, didn't realize that they really don't want a ceasefire. Okay, because, all right, yeah, obviously, we knew that from the beginning. It's not particularly surprising. Okay, time to ban CR and install a new streamer like we're the CIA. Absolutely, LaCroix, absolutely. And then I will fund a right-wing death squad, and it'll be fun, and I'll use it against my own citizens. All right, yeah, poor little whittle Israel, right, LaCroix? Okay. See here, Israel, yeah, I know, right? Invalid axiom, you're beginning to think ceasefire means continue fire. Yeah, absolutely. Alyssa, this is going to be a masterclass in market manipulation. Absolutely. God, why can't I speak today? Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. So this is just going to keep going. This whole thing is going to keep going round and round and round. I'm just so happy about that. Love that for us. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay. All right. Let me see what else we got, guys. So, Jamie, again, we're just kind of looking around. I know that just today's here. How dare you? Invalid axiom. I swear to God, invalid axiom. I swear to God. Okay. Iranian gunboats fire on tanker after closing the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah. Because they're the enemy. They're the bad guys, of course, according to the American media. Look at this. See, look, guys, just look at the framing here on CNN. This is what I really like. When I look at the news, guys, I tend to look at framing a lot of the time. So notice the framing of this CNN article. Iranian gunboats fire on tanker after closing the Strait of Hormuz. Again. Well, can we maybe stop making it seem like Iran are the baddies, okay? And that, well, they're just doing it again. Look at this. This is just the framing here. They should say Iran closes strait after America breaks ceasefire, after Israel breaks ceasefire, something like that. Okay. Paul Squaw says, I remain concerned with the forgotten gaze of Hormuz. Paul Squaw. You do sound, though, Paul Squaw, like some of the, what is it, the Zionists out there or whatever, who are like, well, they treat gays so badly in Iran, like, this, we should kill their children. Or like what people say about Hamas, right? That's hilarious. Okay. Good. That's true. Is it really is? Did I say hello to you, Matt Saigai? Hello, Matt Saigai. Whatever. My brain isn't working. Okay. So there, that's fun. So he was illegally held by ICE. Surveillance video. The DHS said $1 million. Okay. Again, I'm not. So that seems to be the main. I do want to see this. Apparently, the Trump administration is passing legislation that would accelerate research on psychedelic treatments for PTSD, for post-traumatic stress disorder. This actually might be a good thing. Okay, please don't yell at me for complimenting the Trump administration. I doubt they really. Well, let me read what they did first. Okay, President Donald Trump on Saturday signed an executive order aimed at encouraging expanded research into psychedelic drugs, part of a broader push to explore emerging mental health treatments. In many cases, these experimental treatments have shown life-changing potential. Yes, okay. You know what? Why it's not legislation? That's fair, Paul. So is it an executive order? Forgive me if it is. Oh, yeah, this is bullshit. You're right, Paul Squaw. It says here, the president also announced that the federal government is making a $50 million investment for further research. That is nothing. 50 million is like a drop in the bucket for this kind of. Okay, never mind. You're right, Paul Squaw. It's just for them. Thank you, Paul Squaw, for correcting my stupidity, for thinking they could do anything positive. Hello, Matt Saigai. Just came back home from a trail in Knaresborough, and after watching Project Hail Mary. Ooh, that sounds lovely, Matt Saigai. Okay, yeah, token headline alert. That's for sure. Trump, ahead of signing the order, pointed to initial research he said demonstrates the drug's potential and quipped that he wanted some himself. Well, actually, that might help him in some ways. Anyway. All right. So, yep. We do need, guys, more research put into psychedelics. Yeah, we do need more, because psychedelics have been shown to be very effective in treating post-traumatic stress disorder. It can literally rewire your brain, and it can, I'll say this again, it can cure depression. No, I don't mean treat depression. It can cure it. There have been studies that show that in the correct environment, under the correct supervision, hello, Gwen, under the correct supervision and stuff, okay, psychedelics can literally cure depression. So we need more research on this. Of course, in a country full of puritanical, drug-afraid people, it's hard to convince people that it can be helpful, but we do need more research on it, and we need more work on that anyway. All right. So that's good. Hey, Gwen. So, Gwen, for those that, by the way, for those that are joining us, we are just kind of aimlessly wandering around the internet right now. We have no set plans today. It's going to be sort of a relaxing Saturday stream. So we are just kind of seeing what's happening in the news. We'll talk a little bit about some other things. All right. Let's see what's anything interesting happening in the UK. I'm sure there is. Let's see here. Is there like a way? Is there like a the UK? There we go. For our UK friends out there chilling. Yes, Gwen, we're chilling. All right. Senior official ousted over Mandelson security row. Oh yes, what's going on here? What's going on with Mandelson? I keep seeing headlines about this. Oh goddamn BBC. I normally love BBC, but it's like sometime, but it has that I need to maybe pay for the I mean, it's not great. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I love the BBC, but it typically has some good news stories. Okay. What is going on? I'm going to look this up. Peter Mandelson. Hello, Oz. Welcome, Oz. You blame have you? So is that true, Alyssa? Have you? Did you use a lot of that? There, Alexithymia, and funny invalid axiom. Okay, let's see here. So what is this about, Peter Mandelson? I keep reading about it. Or I keep seeing about it. Starmer reacts to calls to resign over Mandelson appointment. Oh, that's right. So Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Friday resisted demands he resign over revelations that his scandal-tainted pick for UK ambassador to Washington was appointed despite failing security checks. Oh, so he was appointed despite security checks. Because he had alleged Mandelson had business links to Russia and China and had a past friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Starmer said he was shut up, Starmer. Like, whatever. I can't imagine this man being absolutely, I can't imagine, let's see here, Louise. Apparently the security services didn't pass Mandelson, but this foreign office overrode them and told Starmer. Interesting, Louise. So it actually probably isn't Starmer's fault, weirdly enough. Okay, weirdly enough. How are you doing, Gwen, now that your husband is over in Turkey? Just curious. You having a grand old time? Not that you would not. I'm sure you miss your husband, of course. I'm just curious. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay. You don't really believe it, Louise, because everyone knows what Mandelson was like. Fair. Okay, fair. I'm being an asshole, Gwen, by the way. It's okay. So interesting. It's a Farage thing. What's a Farage thing there, Gwen? No, I was just being silly when I said that about Gwen. Let's put it that way. Okay. Yeah, I don't also. By the way, it's funny that they say that Starmer was absolutely furious. I don't think that man could ever feel fury. He's just so emotionally bland. How could Pierce Starmer ever feel fury? Right? I was absolutely furious. Can you imagine like Keir Starmer becoming angry and like yelling? No, he would just be like, "I'm so angry. I'm so angry." Anyway. All right. I got it, Alyssa. That's fair. Okay. The security services, interesting. Okay. Okay, his name is Kid Starver. That's true. All right. Okay. All right. Interesting. Let's see what else is going on, guys. Oh, Farage wants him out. Gotcha. Oh, Farage wants Starmer. I see what you're saying. So Farage might be pushing this story or whatever, or Mandelson. Interesting, Gwen. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. All right, I'm just going to go to NBC, which is very corporate news. Gotcha, Gwen. Okay. Iran reimposes strict control. Yeah, we saw this already. Who's this? Never mind. Yeah, so let's talk about this real fast. I was going to mention this. Hello, Druzilla. How you doing, Druzilla? All right. So yesterday, guys, there were massive tornadoes that went throughout the United States. Yeah, it is news by corporations. That's for sure. Invalid axiom. Okay. There were very powerful tornadoes. And I read that there were 4 deaths, but apparently there were none. That's good, at least. I thought there were, well, they are still probably uncovering people in rubble and stuff. So there was if anyone was watching yesterday, I know Alyssa knows about this. For the Americans out there, were any of you affected by this? I know Alyssa was. Anyone else out there affected by the massive tornado outbreak yesterday after we had just talked about tornadoes on stream? They may have, Laqual, they may have brought them back from the dead. Okay, oof, who knows, right? Apparently it's commonplace according to the Bible. Anyway, so there were a ton of tornadoes, and I'm trying to see here. Yeah, at one point there were like 20 plus tornado warnings at one time. So, okay, let's take a look here. Since we're just kind of having fun today, why not? Let's just take a look. So here we have, this is a video I saw. I oftentimes after like a tornado, yeah, after a tornado outbreak, a lot of the times the next day people will start posting videos of the tornadoes. Storm chasers will start posting videos. Really, Drozilla, a streamer on Twitch had to go to the basement when I was watching. See, Drozilla, see? I am not going crazy, folks, when I talk about how tornadoes are a big thing in the United States and how, like, you have to run to the basement when you hear an alarm, okay? And you know what's funny, guys? Whenever, like, Israelis complain, you know, or like, oh, we always, oh my God, we're such victims over here in Israel. We're always hearing sirens and we always have to run to our store, our bomb shelters. I'm like, try living in the goddamn Midwest, okay? You guys are not special, all right? You're not special, all right? Just because you're Israel. Okay, anyway. And by the way, try living as a Palestinian. Let's see if you, who don't necessarily have bomb shelters, all right? So anyway, but regardless, okay, so yeah, we do, Oz. We need to get very serious about our boycotts. Okay, so here's a video from that exactly, Mr. King K. Of course they are. AVC is still saying that the ceasefire is in effect because our media is awful. So here's one video I saw from yesterday. I was going to look up a few and maybe look at them together with you guys of one of these tornadoes.
Yep, fully condensed.
That's a smaller one. Oh my goodness, they are close to that.
Just got hit.
Oof, look at that. Look at that debris. That's not that powerful of one, but that's a lot of debris still.
Oh, on the ground.
Thank you, Paul Squaw. Yep. We'll take a look at that. Oh,
tornado
Jesus
in
Christ.
progress.
You can hear the hail or the hail hitting his vehicle.
Just coming right behind it.
Oh, Louise, thank you. Let's actually watch that later. We have time today, so might as well watch that.
Okay.
There it comes. So that's called a funnel cloud.
All right, what's coming right behind this? Yep.
Yep, copy that.
Ooh, it's getting big. Yep.
Fully condensed.
Whoop, there it is. All right.
It's getting big. Yep.
Fully condensed.
I'll get a headshot on the debris.
We got a large cone or a small cone tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Video in progress, Brad.
I believe it, Invalid Axiom. Is that true, J-Mac? Would you post that?
Right,
So
let's go get it.
Okay, so this is a weaker tornado, but these are the kind of videos that get posted the day after of tornadoes. A bunch of tornadoes. I'm just trying to go through it a little bit. Yeah, that's a weaker one, but look at the damage it's doing. That's probably an EF1 or an EF2. Probably an EF1. Look at that. Oh, it is, Louise. Nature is spectacular. Dear God.
House okay? Yeah, house is okay.
Roof is off. Roof is off. I think they're okay. Still good?
Yes.
Okay, keep filming.
Here's some damage images of like a house without a, okay. That looked like one of the weaker ones. I can show you guys, so where did I put my, where did I put Reddit? So then there was a massive outbreak yesterday. Yeah, very scary, Drusilla, I tell you. Right now, guys, it's very gray outside for Americans out there. You know, a lot of you will know that when the sky is a certain, well, at least if you live in the Midwest, when the sky is a certain color, when there's a certain like temperature outside, you can kind of tell that there's a lot of danger. let's see here. There is ooh, here, this is from 18 hours ago.
Holy shit!
Oh, yeah, green sky is pretty scary. Hello, politics. Jeez.
Just in the circulation!
I don't know what this got. Look at that. So that's called horizontal rain, where the wind is so high that the rain is going horizontally. Yep, you know it. Demosthenes. When the wind stops and you hear a freight train, there isn't a train nearby, you know you're in trouble. Matt Saigai, how are you feeling today? I'm pretty good, Matt Saigai. I had some issues sleeping, but I'll survive. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Oh my God, that's a big tornado. Now that's a tornado right there.
One
Dear
behind
God.
it! Sucking everything into it. That is good.
I got you, politics. Me too. That is a big goddamn tornado. So that's called a wedge tornado. It's kind of like a wedge shape.
It's rain wrap.
Those are some of the most dangerous tornadoes. That's probably an EF3 or 4. Maybe it could be a 2, but luckily, more than likely a 3. But they're pretty bad. God, it's like black.
You can hear the
The
roar.
skies.
You can hear the roar.
So has
That's
anyone... Interesting. Has anyone here ever heard of Reed Timmer? Jeez, the sky is amazing. So if anyone's ever heard of Reed Timmer is... He's kind of annoying, I gotta tell you. Reed Timmer kind of annoys me. Dolly Boy's back. Hello, Dolly Boy. So glad you're here. Oh my God, Dolly Boy's on a 135 stream streak. Insane. Okay, good God. Oh, for sure, Invalid Axiom. You can have multiple vortices in that size of a tornado. Like the El Reno tornado was one giant area of circulation, and then there were multiple vortices inside of it, which is why storm chasers got killed by it, is because it was really hard to see where it started. Okay, so this is Reed Timmer, and he's a meteorologist, but he paints himself as just like an amazing LaCroix. Yeah, only 45 days. Get up past 100, LaCroix, and maybe I'll give you a compliment. Okay, hello, Bright Love. Just kidding, LaCroix. So he is a meteorologist. He and his team invented a machine called the I'm just kidding, LaCroix. A machine called the Dominator, which is this thing. Okay, this thing behind him. And it allows them to literally go into tornadoes and take measurements and shit like that. And it is like a tank. And yesterday, he was actually able to get it inside of one of the bigger tornadoes. Now, even this thing cannot go inside EF5s and EF4s. You do that and you might die. So, but they yesterday he got it inside like what was probably an EF3. I would love to see that video eventually. Now, I will say, here's the issue with a lot of tornado chasers. They don't. Yeah, I know, Philly Cheese. So that car, Matt Saigai, is the Dominator, and it is, I forget what type of car it is, but it has been modified so that it is safe. Yeah, okay, it is safe. And I can show you videos where he actually has gone into tornadoes with this thing. And after you go into the tornado, what you do is you get into the line of the tornado, and then you can actually lower it to the ground so that air can't get beneath it. And then you sit there. And here's the thing about tornado chasers, guys. A lot of them claim to be doing it because they care about people. A lot of them do it because they're adrenaline junkies. All right. A lot of them do it because it's thrilling. Okay. It's like the excitement of almost dying, the excitement of going inside a tornado. They're adrenaline junkies. Okay. It's a modified Suburban. Interesting. And Reed Timmer is very obviously an adrenaline junkie. Yes, what he's done is very helpful. He has learned, he has learned a lot from tornadoes that can help people by doing this. But he also is so obviously an adrenaline junkie, and when you watch him, I'll show you a video. He's like way too excited, and he's like screaming, like, "We're in the tornado!" And it's like, calm down, dude. We know you're in the tornado, and like, but so you can tell he's an adrenaline junkie. But hey, whatever helps, whatever helps you. And he's even admitted it before that he feels numb and bored unless he's like doing something death defying. So anyway, exactly. So good for him. It's helping. Let me see if I can find a video of Reed Timmer. Reed Timmer. Tornado chaser. Yeah, exactly. See if we can find a good video of him actually getting into a tornado here. Intercepting a dangerous tornado. That was from a day ago. Oh, this is the one from yesterday. This one might not be a very good one, but let's see if we can find a good video of him intercepting a tornado with this thing. You know what? We can just do the one from yesterday. I don't know if it's any good.
No, not for 6.9 miles, 6.6 miles.
Tornado!
Yeah. A bright love.
We got debris right there. There it is! Debris flying!
Okay, you hear the guy yelling in the background. This is why he's a bit annoying, and I apologize in advance. That's him yelling. He gets way too excited. Even if the tornado hasn't hit them yet, he already starts yelling. And you can hear the people around him being like talking normally, talking a bit loud so that they can hear each other. But it's very obviously.
Am I clear on the right?
Yes, send it. You're good.
Okay,
Go
so
for this guy.
they're seeing a tornado.
There, there's debris flying. See it?
Yes, we see it.
Watch that big area. Watch that shop for sheet metal. Flying debris
Okay.
up there. High debris. A lot of stretching. I might do it.
Okay, so they're actually watching the formation of a tornado.
It already caused some debris. Look at the big green clear slot.
By the way, don't do this. Please don't do this. If anyone out there is watching that's younger and, please don't do this unless you know what you're doing, okay? This is very dangerous. He's getting underneath where a tornado is forming. You can see the sky twisting.
It's right about to pass over us. It's got a funnel cloud. Look at that. It's trying to plant right here. Whoa, here's Bob! Tornado touching down right here!
Got it.
Big problems! Tornado
Yeah, me
right
too.
Here. Here's popping!
We're on it.
Okay,
We're in it.
see how excited he
Here's
is?
popping!
Yep. It's right
Calm
here.
down.
Oh my God!
And like the people in there, he's like, yep. They're like, yeah, we know, Reed. We know.
I couldn't hear anything!
Yeah. Oh, we got something rolling in the road.
Tornado!
We're in it.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know.
Gonna condense.
Your windshield wiper.
Right here!
Yep.
Whoa, we're in the
yes,
tornado!
we are in it.
So it's I know, right? Chill. Yeah, he's way in too much into it. Good question, Matt Saigai. How does he maintain enough traction to stay on the ground? The car is extremely heavy, Matt Saigai. It's like coated with steel or I forget what the material is, but it's very heavy. And they also have a mechanism that puts like arms down on the ground, like what are they called? Like hydraulic arms, so that there's even more friction with the ground, and to space it out. That's how they stay. But even then they can't go into like an EF5 tornado. That's way too dangerous. So they can really only go into EF4s, low EF4s and things like that. Yeah.
Right here.
Look at it go! Big debris!
Okay, this is not that big of a tornado that they're in, but he's freaking out.
Go up, go up, go up. Keep going east. It's ripping right there.
Started panning up.
See it? See right there?
Yes!
That's it.
There it is!
There you go. Yeah, there you go,
you go.
Demosthenes. Hydraulic suspension, spikes and anchors.
Your
Yeah.
side!
I got it on the street right now.
Tunnel right in front of us, I think!
The curtains are rapidly moving right there. I hear it.
That's a good point, Mithril. Admittedly, Mithril, this car has a bunch of stuff added to it. It's like a tank, okay? But you're right. Welcome, Mithril, okay?
Look at that.
Big rain curtain left to right!
Yeah.
It's touching down right in front of us!
But guys, it's dangerous because this car is very, very, very heavy. And there's been times where they've gotten stuck in ditches and things like that. And then a big tornado is coming and they can't move away. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how they do it. It's kind of dangerous, but hey.
We got southerlies and then northerlies. It's right here.
Yes.
This is it. This whole thing in front. Look at the debris here. Debris.
Yes, we see it.
Might have
Calm
to
down,
move to the
Reed.
north, guys. Here's the phone if you need it. Right there on the left. Look at the solar panels.
Yeah, solar panels. So
Also, anyone
There's debris.
listening,
Look at this debris coming around. What is this?
this is on the right.
Yeah.
This is on the
see,
right.
there it is.
There it is. Right.
There's the this is the Dominator. It could be a Prepper's wet dream. There you go.
Inside. Bring my window down. Bring my window down.
Here you go.
Bring it down. Bring it down. Keep
Going
going.
down.
Keep going.
You're right,
Get it,
Mithril.
get it, man.
And Mithril, you're not wrong. When they stop it, when they're going down the highway, they have to really slow down way before they have to stop because they have so much momentum going,
Get it. You're good.
inertia,
Gotcha.
or whatever it is.
Tornado.
Okay, there's the tornado. You can see
Big time
the
tornado.
heavy
Back
winds right here.
down.
Right there.
Whoa.
You'll notice that they're putting
Right
down their
front.
window. They shouldn't be doing
Yeah,
that.
northerly.
That's dumb.
The whole thing. The whole thing's going.
Still rolling right there. Got it right there. It's right next to the fence line up there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys get the idea here. I don't want to overplay this.
Okay.
Trying to
Not
find.
There you go.
Okay, so this one isn't as entertaining as other ones, but you get idea. They just go into the tornado, all right? I know, right, Druzilla, that guy already moans in the store to buy condoms, probably. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, there, Vimano's a classic colonizer behavior when you have it too good in your day-to-day, so you try to feel, Vimano's hilarious. He has a swirly wind fetish. Yeah, apparently, all right, okay. So let's see here. So that's Reed Timmer. You can find a bunch more of his stuff. That was kind of a shitty one, but there's some really good videos out there where he goes into these things. Anyway, what else? Who else? What we got here? We got some mentions here. I think of the stopping distance. Yes. That vehicle looks very aerodynamic. It is not. Well, it is kind of aerodynamic. J-Mac, do you think watching Twister is like his version of J-Mac? I swear to God. Probably, actually, J-Mac. He seems to kind of get off on it or whatever, okay? All right. Okay. So, isn't that fun, right? So, yeah, yesterday, tons of tornadoes everywhere. So, for the Americans out there, be careful because we are getting a lot more tornadoes this season, probably because of climate change, etc. All right. What else we got here? Yeah, right, Demosthenes. What are you guys talking about? About some of you are being... actually, Philly Cheese, you're right. I bet he hates water spouts because he can't drive into them. By the way, Philly Cheese is talking about water spouts, which are tornadoes on the ocean or on lakes. They're called water spouts. Water spouts. Okay, well... They're not really tornado. It's a weird thing. Okay, this is a really cool image. Look at this. Okay, they're not like, they're a bit different than tornadoes in some ways, but this is a water spout. Look at that. Isn't that cool? They're not as dangerous as tornadoes. Now, a tornado on the lake or an ocean is very dangerous, but water spouts aren't as dangerous, and they're slightly different. Yeah, Mithril, El Nino will be very strong this year. We're already seeing tons of tornadoes. But don't get your boat near this thing, okay? This is terrifying. It's kind of scary. Yeah, they're much more beautiful than tornadoes. But there are definitely like, if you go near a water spout, yeah, you can go into water spouts a lot of the time and be fine. But just, it can be sometimes hard to tell if it's a tornado or not, though. Okay, because this is complicated. There are differences. So anyway. Like here, look at this image right here. This image is like this right here is this is a ton of different tornadoes and water spouts, okay? Anyway. Yeah, it's just like an itsy bitsy spider. Oh yeah, went up the water spout, in the rain and washed the water out. Anyway, there we go, guys. So, all right. So just don't go near water spouts either, all right? Just avoid that shit. Get like the plague. Okay. Sharknado sprouts. Yeah. I know Sharknado sprouts. Okay. All right, so there we go. So tons of tornadoes yesterday, all over the damn place. So exciting. Love that shit for us. It's great fun. A lot of things were destroyed. A lot of people lost their houses. Maybe we should do something like, I don't know, help people afford good construction and stuff, and make sure that people who have lower income aren't left out to dry and then have to have their houses destroyed and then pay ridiculous amounts of money for it. All right, that's no good. We don't want that shit. Okay, so that's good. By the way, Trump has majorly, the Trump administration and Republican Congress has majorly defunded the National Weather Service and made it a lot harder to predict these things and made them likely more deadly. So that's good. Love that. Okay, so Paul Squaw, you sent me something out here. I'm trying to find it. You sent me something from, yes. Oh, the new Tornado Alley. Yeah, so right now, so this is the United States right now. He also screwed with FEMA, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, it's insane, Paul Squaw. What does a family even do? House randomly gone in a few minutes, no warning. Yeah, everything gone. And to be clear, I'm so sick of hearing the orphan crushing machine stories where they're like, "Oh, community raises funds to help get person's house to fix up someone's house," or like, there'll be a weatherman who starts a GoFundMe for a community devastated by a tornado, and like it'll have all this positive news around it. I'm like, "Oh my God, we're living in a dystopia that we're needing to do fundraisers and charities in order to help people rebuild their homes and their houses and shit." It's insane. Yeah. So can we maybe do something about that? So this is Paul Squaw sent this. I want to see what's the tornado. So yeah, this is probably the new Tornado Alley. Now it's a little bit to the east of this, as in like it's bigger than this. It extends a little farther east. This is today, but today we have some major there's a big possibility of big storms. I'm probably going to be hit by one. Yeah, Drizilla. Okay. But like the central United States is very, including Ohio, where I am, is very prone to this shit. Okay. Now, if you're on the coast, you're fine typically, unless you're near a hurricane zone. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Mithril, I saw a show where they talked about toddlers listening to nursery rhymes. My grandson listens to metal and protest songs. Am I doing something wrong? No, of course not, Mithril. Good for you, Mithril. Do it. Radicalize the little bugger early, okay? Okay. Um, let's see here. Or you see a kid who has mowed grass all summer to pay off lunch debts of students at their school, and it's painted as a feel-good story. Oh my God, I know. It's insane. It's insane. So anyway, okay. That's like, there it is. This is the image I wanted to show you. This is like the new Tornado Alley-ish, but I'm going to be hit earlier, and that's why I have my window open, so you guys will be able to hear if I get hit by a tornado. Anyway, how's everyone doing out there? We good? Let's see what else there is to do, guys. Let's see what else there is to do. So we have the news of the strait being closed again by Iran. Yay. The same shit, different day. The Trump administration are a bunch of monsters, of course. I thought, oh yes, are you here, paleontology dog? I wanted to show you all something that's kind of fun. It is Brazil. Don't worry, I'm not going to get hit by a tornado. We have a very low chance of tornadoes today. It's not going to be nearly as bad as yesterday, but I do want the window open so I can hear. Okay, paleontology dog sent this on Reacts, and I love it. And I thought it's very great for a Saturday. So thank you for sending this, paleontology dog, guys. This is literally titled. Pilots appear to meow and bark at each other over the radio at DCA. And apparently it's becoming an issue. If you think that sounds crazy, it's exactly what it sounds like. So let's listen to this and just delight in the weirdness of the world. Okay, I know I am. Let's watch this.
Making some noise over the radio. I don't know. What do you call it? Well, I'm just going to let you listen. Listen to this. Meow. Meow.
You guys you need to be professional pilots.
Meow, 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 meow.
Right, Louise?
This is why you're still flying RJ.
Okay, so they're meowing, they're barking. Air traffic control having to remind them to be professional. When we asked the FAA about this, they said they investigate all situations where pilots may have violated any regulation. Let's bring in Tom Costello first of all. Lot of thoughts here. I'm not going to give my takes, but let's just say, number one, RJ means what? Regional jets?
Regional jet.
That was like a dig then, right?
big
The air
dig.
traffic controllers basically
Yes.
saying your antics are why you're not hitting the big leagues.
That's right.
It's sort of like weird and funny, but also, is it not kind of dangerous too to be tying up the traffic with
Listen,
this?
I'll give you my opinion. I think
Guys, honestly, can I just, okay, I know I should care about airline safety or whatever. I mean, we don't want like planes falling out of the sky, although the Trump administration is doing that themselves already. But like, I really don't care. Let them do their barking and their meowing. It's funny, it's silly, it's cute. And I know these two people are probably going to be like, it's against airline regulations. It's so unprofessional, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay. If you're flying across the goddamn ocean for like hours upon hours, yeah, Louise, you know, maybe a little fun. Give a little bark, give a little meow. You never know. Who cares? Stop oppressing the workers. They're the ones doing the labor, all right? Let them do their barking and their meowing. Who gives a shit? Yeah, they're probably on autopilot anyway, Louise. Absolutely. Okay, if they are doing that, then they know it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, exactly, Sylvie, okay? Anyway, yeah, trust the process. I agree. You're right, by the way, Sylvie. There is going to be a general strike. Which one is that, Sylvie? The general strike on May 1st. Which one is that? Okay. Is it really that big of a deal to meow a little to your fellow pilot? I don't think so, LaCroix, but let's see what they say. Maybe they have a point. Maybe. I know politics. I know I'm being weirdo. It's like maybe while they're doing something that's very dangerous and they need to have an open line of communication, they shouldn't be barking and meowing. Yeah. But like, come on, just one bark or one meow. I mean, don't we all do it once in a while, guys? I know I hiss like a snake randomly. I'll be like, okay, I don't, but you know, why not? We should start.
think it's outrageous. I think it's juvenile. A bunch of 12-year-olds. I mean, up there on a radio. By the way, they were on frequency 121.50. That's the Guard emergency channel.
Oh, well.
You're supposed to have it on all the time, right? And only on it, only talking when you have an emergency. Apparently, this kind of, I'll say it, juvenile, stupid behavior has been going on for more than 20 years, in which pilots out over the ocean usually,
I got you, politics,
for some reason are getting into this meow, meow, bark, bark thing. And it may have some connection to a movie 20 years ago that I don't even know. But professional pilots find it outrageous.
Well, that's so interesting.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to look that up. First of all, Paul Squaw says, God forbid a couple dudes engage in pup play. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, no, me neither, paleontology dog. Who cares? I know, Sir Bart. It's like, who the fuck cares? And this is why I think it's funny, okay? Like, we have Nazi, as Sir Bart says, we have Nazi child assaulters in power, basically, and we're launching a war of aggression against Iran. And yet, this is what our media is talking about, and like pilots making cat and dog sounds. Like, who cares? Who cares? I find it hilarious, right? I think it's funny, and I support the pilots, right? I think it's cute, and I wish my pilot was meowing and barking. Okay. Please, that would make me feel much more much more comfortable. If suddenly over the over the announcement system, you hear the pilot go meow, bark. Like, I'd love that shit. Okay, please. I'd feel much calmer.
I ask, like, why the meowing and the barking? Is it like a thing in the pilot community? Maybe, kind of?
Everybody I've talked to about this say they don't get it. It's dumb, it's stupid, and it is disrespectful.
Oh, shut up. Why does this old guy have to be talking down to us?
Reagan
I know,
airspace,
Dolly Boy.
We just lost 67 people last year in a crash at Reagan, and of course,
there you go, Polly.
Communication or the trouble communicating was determined to be one of the factors, not the deciding factor. Now, the question is, who was it? And I asked the FAA, I've asked pilots, is there any way to triangulate this?
Yeah.
Really? He wants them to spend resources figuring out which pilot did this. We need to crack down on these barkers and meowers.
And you go back and figure out who was actually speaking, and the answer is, we don't think so. By the way, there's a rule.
I'm sorry, not Meow. Mayflower Kid says, roar. Exactly, Mayflower Kid, and that's what the pilot should do. Yeah, Sir Bart, it's the lack of aircraft control, not the fucking meowing that causes crashes. Sir Bart, right? And we're actually having issues with that. We're having issues with that in the United States because we've defunded a lot of the air traffic controllers. So I am very excited to see if they mention that and try to blame that, blame those crashes on this.
Delta saying that we continue to investigate. We cannot authenticate any details of the exchange, pardon me, including whether a Delta or Delta Connection regional flight may have been involved, but we expect pilots will always conduct themselves professionally. There is a sterile cockpit rule.
What does that mean?
It is essentially the rule of all aviation. Below 10,000 feet, you must always keep it extremely and solely professional. In other words, if you're in the cockpit, you guys haven't climbed up yet.
This like, I don't know, this sounds like, I don't know, what, like a North Korean broadcast where they're like, breaking news today, someone spray painted on the side of the dear leader's statue. We will hunt down the perpetrators. We will find who did this. How dare you do this? That is unprofessional, you know? Like someone maybe drew like with pencil or something on the side of a Kim Jong-un statue, an image of a penis, and like the whole media apparatus loses its mind. That's kind of what this reminds me of.
Even if you're at 7,500, you don't talk about what you're going to have for dinner tonight. It is only about the performance of the aircraft and your jobs. So I think it's fair to say that if you're on the radio barking and meowing at whatever altitude, that would be perceived as really, you know, inappropriate.
He's really worked up
in
about
violation
this.
of the sterile cockpit rule. But one of the FAA guys I talked to today said, you know, if we find...
No, you're right, Paul Squad. This piece of shit isn't wearing a tie. We really ought to track him down and deal with him, right? This is insane.
Find out who did it. What rule can we really cite? If they're above 10,000 feet and they're messing around on the radio, it may really end up being, if they can determine
Look at her, though. She's like, interesting. Oh, so fascinating.
Was the airlines who take action against their pilots.
We thank you for...
That's it. Honestly, I thought it was cute. I want my pilot to bark and meow. That's adorable. Don't we like that? I kind of like that shit. It's just kind of fun. You know, who cares? Let them bark, let them meow. All right. It might help keep them sane. They might be less likely to purposely crash the plane into a mountain, which did happen once. Probably, Drusilla. But do you guys remember that there was that pilot who purposely crashed the plane into a mountainside and killed everyone on board because he was depressed and things like that? So, hey, if anything, this is good for the pilot's mental health. Let them bark and meow. Sylvie, she doesn't want him to say it, but it looked like she wanted to call him crazy. I agree. Okay. Yeah. Let our pilots meow. Right. Okay. Anyway, can we focus on the and guys? I know I'm doing this. I'm like not talking about very many serious things today. I mean, death from tornadoes are serious and Iran is serious and shit, but it's a Saturday. But can our media focus on things that matter for once in our lives? I mean, dear God, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? That was an NBC segment. That was an NBC nightly news segment, as if it matters. Who cares? Jesus Christ. And then why are you going after... Okay. Anyway. I'm unaware of any studies saying barking is linked to good mental health. But come on, Mayflower Kid. We all know it is, right? Come on. That's great. Yeah, such a weird hill to paint a flag on. Because it's a safe... Yeah, it's a safe hill to plant a flag on, right? Easier to plant a flag on the meowing, barking hill as opposed to saying that you oppose Israel, what they're doing against Palestine. Hello, Tiago. How are you doing? How are you doing, Tiago? Anyway, so I thought that was cute.
According to the...
So this, I do want to watch this with all of you too. So speaking of shitty news, by the way, if anyone sees any bizarre news updates while I'm streaming here, given that, you know, we're still at war, etc., please let me know. Okay. How dare you, LaCroix? And I'll keep an eye out. There's another video I wanted to watch with all of you because we've talked before about how Gen Alpha is very, very bad at reading. All of the stats show that Gen Alpha is having a disaster in terms of being able to read. And especially as a teacher, I'm particularly interested in this and why the hell this is happening. And I think there's many reasons, but I wanted to watch this video with all of you. I haven't seen it about, you know, Gen Alpha still can't read. Is it good, Invalid Axiom? So let's just watch it. I think it'll be agreed, Paul Squad. The kids are the victims. I completely agree. And they're the victims of all kinds of things, right? In this regard. So let's watch.
The nation's report card. 40% of Gen Alpha do not have basic reading skills, the highest level in over 2 decades, and as nearly half of all new teachers are already leaving the field.
Yep, I told you that. The average number of years a teacher teaches is 2 before they leave the profession.
Grade reading scores are now falling back towards levels seen in the 1980s, raising the question, why is Gen Alpha facing a full-blown education crisis? Despite decades of technological advancement, you would expect Gen Alpha to be excelling in what should be the greatest time to live in human history. Yet, they're not only struggling to read, but 61% are considered below.
I will say, this is where I agree with Foucault in that it's not like we can't really view history as constant progress. Some things have gotten better over time, but some things aren't better. So to say that, this should be the best time to live, well, I don't know if it should be. It could be. But, okay, I know that's a little side note there.
Proficient in math, meaning there are now more 4th graders who know the viral 6-7 trend than can actually explain the difference between even and odd numbers, reflecting a system not.
That is a creepy way of putting that, yeah. That there's more Gen Alpha people who know the 6-7 trend than know. Okay, that's a why do you have to phrase it that way? That makes it sound kind of bad. All right, that makes it sound kind of bad. You know what? You're right, Demosthenes. I think the reason this is happening is because the pilots are barking and meowing.
Not shaped by accident, but by decades of decisions that prioritize short-term outcomes over the long-term development of the nation's youth. By the early 1970s, when the country began formally tracking educational progress, the system was beginning to improve because, for the first time, meaningful investment was
Sylvie, what are you, a socialist? You want to have proper funding for schools? Shame on you, Sylvie. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You're oppressing the rich.
Being directed towards emerging generations. Students were staying in school longer, reading and math scores were stable or rising, graduation rates were climbing, and millions of students who had been previously excluded were now receiving a formal education. Even per pupil spending was increasing as states invested in expanding schools, hiring staff, and building a more inclusive system. However, this early sign of progress.
Fair, Sylvie. Hey, communists are socialists, okay? They're just the extreme, they're like the end state of socialism, I guess you could say.
Was severely disrupted
in theory, right? I know you'll yell at me.
Early 1980s, as President Ronald Reagan entered office with a platform that included eliminating the Department of Education. In response, Secretary Terrell Bell helped assemble the National Commission on Excellence in Education, not to evaluate the system, but to justify the department's existence. The resulting 1983 report, A Nation at Risk, deliberately manufactured a narrative of crisis. Commission insiders, including staffer James Harvey, later admitted that the group began with a predetermined conclusion of widespread mediocrity and then cooked the books, highlighting declining averages and international comparisons, while ignoring the most obvious reality: more students were entering the system and taking those same tests. When the data was actually broken down.
So a big part of this, guys, was that Reagan was a neoliberal, and they wanted to make it appear as though the schools were doing badly so they could start privatizing them and convincing more people to go to private and charter schools so that his rich friends could make profit off of it. There was also a racist component to this, in that they were upset that white kids were having to go to school with black kids. So they're like, you know what we should do? We should start allowing communities, white people, to form their own schools in the form of charter schools and such, or public schools in suburbs, and so that we can get away from the black kids. Okay, there were multiple reasons he did this. It wasn't just that they were trying to justify their existence. They had a perfect reason. Their reason for doing it was racist and also economic based. Okay, so this was not just about justifying their existence.
Across all categories, the nation's education system was improving. Yet the report's hyperbolic language, a rising tide.
Yeah, you're right, Paul Squad. The Reagan's campaign advisor said we are in danger of producing an educated proletariat. Yeah, they also didn't like that.
Of mediocrity, and the claim that mediocre education was equivalent to an act of war by a foreign power, dominated public discourse, drowning out the gains of the 1970s and justifying a shift towards standardization, testing, and measurable outcomes over actually teaching students how to learn. Setting the
Yeah, Mayflower Kid, no. Okay, that's not true, Mayflower. Yeah, no, Mayflower Kid. Typically in politics, it's not. Yes, sorry guys, Mayflower Kid asks, does no one do anything just because it could help people? Sometimes, yes, Mayflower Kid. I should say yes. Okay, I shouldn't say no. Honestly, sometimes conservatives do things that they think will help because they have a distorted view of the world and they think it'll help. And sometimes they don't even notice that their ideology is only benefiting them or certain groups of people. Other times, no, it's all political. It depends, right? It's all political. Okay. Most of the time, it's just political. So, yeah. All right.
Foundation for the widespread crisis now defining Gen Alpha's education. As a result of the cookbook crisis narrative, influential figures began promoting and benefiting from a series of false solutions. Most notably, the system continued rapidly shifting away from phonics, where students learned to read by sounding out words, towards approaches like 3Qing, where students were encouraged to guess unfamiliar words based on sentence structure, surrounding context, or even pictures, rather than actually decoding them, allowing students to appear fluent while never developing the ability to break down and understand the words on the page. Lucy Calkins became one of the most influential figures behind popularizing this movement, and despite reading scores
What's her
drastically
name?
declining,
I've never heard of her. I can't believe I haven't heard of this person. What's her name? Lucy. Did they say Calkins? Or am I hallucinating? Let me see here.
words on the page. Lucy Calkins became one of the most influential figures behind popularizing this movement.
Lucy Calkins. Lucy Calkins. I don't know how to spell it. Okay. Lucy Calkins?
Allowing students to appear fluent while never developing the ability to break down and understand the words on the page. Lucy Calkins became one of the most
Calkins. C-A-U. Sorry, guys. I want to look up who this person is. Lucy Calkins. There we go. American educator and professor. She's been a primary school. So she actually based her system of study off of the English system, the British education model. Yeah, she used it emphasized teaching reading through context and cues instead of teaching phonics. Yeah, it's been criticized for contradicting the science of reading and hindering millions of American students from learning to read. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. In 2024, a class action lawsuit was filed in the United States District Court of Massachusetts alleging that deceptive and defective products from the publisher Heinemann and 3 authors, including Calkins, made it harder for children to read. Interesting. So she was kind of a loony, I guess. Or she's an... Interesting. Okay. Never heard of this lady. I need to look more into her.
Most influential figures behind popularizing this movement. And despite reading scores drastically declining throughout the 1990s, her curriculum still reached roughly 16% of all K-2 teachers nationally. And even after the 2000 National Reading Panel strongly endorsed systematic phonics, these approaches remained in place, as Calkins continued promoting cueing strategies long after they were shown to be harmful to beginning and struggling readers, contributing to a widespread literacy crisis, most clearly seen in Gen Alpha. At the same time,
I gotta tell you, I think this is a big oversimplification. It doesn't, now I could be wrong, guys, because I don't know this history apparently, because I haven't heard of this lady. Does anyone else feel like that sounds like an oversimplification to say all these problems go back to this one lady and her program of reading? It's completely ignoring all the socioeconomic factors that might go into this, right? Am I crazy about that? I feel like that just might be a bit of an exaggeration to say that it all goes back to her, especially when this is there's a lot of other structural issues going on that I suspect contribute to this. And clearly, well, right? Am I right about that? So we'll see if he goes on to say that there's other issues other than her approach to teaching that may have made it worse. But like, okay.
Policies like No Child Left Behind further reshaped the incentives within the classroom. Rather than improving how students were taught, the system began tying school funding and performance directly to standardized test results, forcing teachers and administrators to prioritize whatever could be measured. Over time, this narrowed the curriculum, incentivized teaching to the test, and pulled attention away from foundational skills like decoding, comprehension, and long-term development. But more importantly, it changed how schools responded to failure. Because performance was measured through aggregate test scores, schools were often punished for low proficiency rates across entire student populations, creating a system where struggling students became a liability to overall performance.
Guys, this is a huge issue, the standardized testing system, because it incentivizes schools to lie and to fudge numbers and things like that. Okay, it does. So principals, deans, teachers will often fudge numbers because they have to in order to keep their funding going. If too many of their kids do badly, they lose funding or they don't get as much funding. That's insane. So they need it's a goddamn mess. All right. It is a very big mess. And it doesn't account for struggling like students from bad socioeconomic backgrounds, which makes it harder for them to learn. So schools in historically disadvantaged areas and with historically disadvantaged populations typically won't do as well. And then those schools will receive less funding, which is the opposite of what you need. Okay. All right.
Retaining students meant those same low scores would be counted again the following year, while also increasing long-term dropout risk. So instead of holding students back and addressing foundational gaps, many schools began pushing them forward, relying on summer programs, test-focused interventions, or simply reclassifying performance to protect overall metrics. Leading to decades of compounded decay, where Gen Alpha is no longer progressing through a system built around learning, but instead moving through one that increasingly resembles a glorified daycare. As these policies took hold, both A Nation at Risk and No Child Left Behind effectively shifted the burden of failure onto teachers, allowing the system to treat them
Thank you for saying it. Yes, please stop putting the burden on us.
as replaceable cogs rather than skilled professionals. So while Gen Alpha is in desperate need of educational support, teachers now face a pay penalty approaching 27%, earning significantly less than similarly educated professionals, while real wages have actually declined over the past decade, despite record levels of overall educational spending, forcing over 70% of teachers to hold a second job, with 31% working in roles like Uber or retail.
Oh my God. I know it's bad. I'm going to go back a little bit.
Earning significantly less than similarly educated professionals, while
they just need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Hilarious. A bright love. Also, I said I would refer you to my tutoring gig, and I will, but they were just retooled the entire interface and they haven't. Okay, interesting.
Real wages have actually declined over the past decade, despite record levels of overall educational spending, forcing over 70% of teachers to hold a second job, with 31%
70%. Oh my God.
Working in roles like Uber or retail just to make ends meet, and with most of them working those jobs throughout the school year while managing classrooms of 23 to 26 students.
I'm sorry, look at these numbers. 77% say their job is frequently stressful. 68% say it's overwhelming. 70% say their school is understaffed.
77%.
Okay, 52 say they would not advise a young person starting out today to become a teacher.
Report their job as frequently stressful, and 52% say they would not advise a young person starting out today to become a teacher. A truly horrific sign for the nation's future. To see what this actually looks like inside Gen Alpha's education, I spoke with an elementary school interventionist with over 20 years of experience in the education system who explained the extra burden that teachers are now facing.
The social emotional is heavier now than it's ever been because...
Do it, Retro Asher. I know this sounds stupid, but it's a calling, okay? I know I'm an atheist, but if you love teaching, you love teaching. I love teaching, okay? Now, unfortunately, we all know I taught longer than most teachers do, but a number of things made me leave it. But yeah, do it if it's a calling for you, if it's something you enjoy. We need teachers, so.
Structures and supports at home are not as strong as what they've been in the past. And then there's always the time requirement. You know,
she looks so burnt out. Mithril, Republicans are the party who care about children. Hilarious, Mithril. Okay, Jesus. There absolutely does need to be more funding, Luke. 100% there needs to be more funding, all right? So, yeah, anti-Zionists can't be teachers. It's called a vocation. There you go, CR. I'm sorry, Mithril. Yeah. So, also, what was I going to say here? Guys, how do I say here? there are I experienced so many times teachers coming to my room crying. Like, teachers often have to deal with their peers, their other teachers crying to them, coming to their rooms, closing the door, and just venting after a bad class, after having a meeting with an administrator. I would have other teachers coming down the hallway in order to hide the fact that they're crying from their students. They'd step in my room and shut the door, and I'd be like, "What's happening?" And then they would just start crying. Like, it is a disaster out there. It is a disaster. Okay, it's a disaster. And yeah, and all the pressure is put on the teachers. All the pressure is put on the teachers. And then, yeah, and they're blamed for everything. And then parents also get blamed for shit that they shouldn't be blamed for. Administrators get blamed for shit that they can't be blamed for. There's a lot of issues here, okay? Mainly money, other things. Yep, late stage capitalism on top of it too. Right, what was I making my coworkers cry, right? Hilarious. There's something you don't think about, guys. Like, teachers, let's put it this way. What was I gonna say here? Why are you making your coworkers cry? Oh, I kinda lost my train of thought. But yeah, my point is it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Another thing, guys, that's sort of simple about this is that kids can be mean. This is sort of unrelated necessarily. This is like one thing that will always be an issue is that like teenagers and kids can be really mean. They can be little assholes. They can, especially teenagers. So it's already a hard job when you have to kind of get used to being treated badly by your students. But then so that'll always be there, but it can be so much easier if we fix all the other stuff. Okay. Anyway, it's just politics. My ex is still a teacher. She can't vent to me anymore. Her mental health fell hard. She feels trapped now because if she talks to me about her work problems, she can lose her job. That's insane, politics. That's insane. That's insane. Okay. Let's see here. A bright love. The simple reality I've been learning is that most of these kids should have been held back. Correct, bright love. Schools have an incentive to push kids onward. Otherwise, they lose funding. So yeah, a lot of times students will be pushed onward that shouldn't have been pushed onward. They should have had to redo stuff. There's all these issues here. But like a lot of times they also need to be pushed on because they need to work because their family's impoverished. So why would you hold them back? It's so complicated. Yeah, it's very depressing. Mithril, the right needs poorly educated people and demoralized teachers to retain control. You're so right, Mithril. There is a historical trend here, guys, of a lot of states, like state as in governments, demonizing teachers. And if you look back, guys, guess who were originally the teachers? Women. Women used to be teachers. That was basically viewed as an effeminate or a feminine area of employment. So they used to be women. And not only that, not only is there an association between women and teaching, there's an association with being working class and poor. Okay. Working class, poor. I'm sorry, not poor, working class and educated. If there's two things a lot of states don't like, it's a bunch of educated poor people who, many of whom are women. All right. One of the reasons why wages haven't been kept up for teachers is partially because it is viewed as a woman's job and women aren't paid equally to men. And then on top of that, they don't like, and there's this fear of empowering poor educated people. Okay. And I'm not saying it's like they're sitting around thinking like the people in power are sitting around thinking, oh, these teachers, they're educated and they're going to revolt because they're working class. No, it's just that a lot of times teachers do radicalize people. Okay. And so there's this idea that we can't trust teachers because a lot of them teach students things that are true and real that question our power. Anyway, so, all right. It's okay, Mithril, but that's like what kids do. And this is what I'm saying, Mithril. Mithril says we used to count it as a victory if we made a certain teacher cry, but that's what kids do, Mithril. Like, don't blame yourself for that. And that's something that will always exist. But like, all right. Yeah, exactly, LaCroix.
Are always expected to do something and have it all planned out. but there's so many meetings that must take place. There's no planning time. And so
Yes,
then
so
there's
true.
that time burden that shifts to outside of work. And how do you make that happen? Especially
hello,
if you're a
outer
person
signal.
that's
You're
working
right.
a second job, especially if you're a person that's running after kids. Like where do you find those spaces? I think those things are really hard on teachers.
Yeah, no
You know,
shit.
just trying to keep up.
Now, you may be wondering, if this lack of respect for the nation's teachers and educational decay has been building for decades, why are we only just now seeing it show up with Gen Alpha? It's not like millions of American adults can't read. According to the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy, 54% of
the Barbara Bush Foundation for American Literacy. Anyway, like, I know that's a small thing. They might be a good organization, but why isn't the government doing this research? Why do we have to rely on these privately funded nonprofits and shit?
American adults read below a 6th grade level, while nearly half cannot read a book written at an 8th grade level. In math, 34% of U.S. adults scored at the lowest levels of numeracy, meaning they can barely do simple addition and subtraction of whole numbers, placing the United States near the bottom among developed countries. So when you combine a system that has been failing generation after generation, an environment where teachers are increasingly overworked and undervalued, and a generation that is the first in human history to have never known a world without smartphones.
Invalid axiom. Wait, why wouldn't the government do it if it can set up a business to get the government and get a government contract to do it? Good question there. You're right. That's you. How dare I suggest the government do it, or that we have some sort of centralized information collection system? Okay, that's irrational. Politics. If MAGA makes you cry, you're not a real American. That's their litmus test for who they allow to live from now on comfortably. You're so right, politics. Except you are allowed to cry if you're MAGA, and it's because you're seeing an American flag or a vet, right? MAGA does like when people cry, but only if it's because of patriotism. All right. So like, yeah. So just a slight correction there, politics. If anyone's ever seen the North Korean, I know I keep mentioning North Korea today, their news media where there's this woman who's like they're the talking head on North Korean media, and she like always breaks down crying whenever, like oftentimes she like breaks down crying whenever talking about the death of a leader, like one of their leaders. She's always like, oh, and she just starts crying. Like they love that kind of shit. They love crying for the sake of the state, but that's about it. All right. Anyway.
Tablets, high-speed internet, streaming services, and social media. What reason would Gen Alpha have to not be facing this crisis? Unlike previous generations who grew up watching their parents read the newspaper, visited libraries, or simply read a book because it was one of their only forms of entertainment, Gen Alpha is growing up in a fundamentally different world.
Paul Squaw, I actually like that. The Paul Squaw says state-approved public emotion. You should write a dissertation and try and make that a common phrase. I like that. Vimenos, of course they can't do math if you're teaching them Arabic numbers. Hilarious, Vimenos, hilarious. You know that's what, anyway. Okay, I believe some people would say that.
By the age of 2, nearly 40% already have their own tablet. And by the time they reach elementary school, 46% already have their own smartphone. Among children between 8 and 10, 65% are spending at least 4 hours a day on social media, often interacting with adult content by the time they turn 11. And while it's easy to point fingers at the greedy corporations, the failing education system, or simply label this just another lazy generation,
I love you too, politics. Thank you. No, I love your comments, politics. I hope you know I love your comments. Glad you're in here, politics.
Reality is
you're a regular now. I hope you know that. You're a member of the loonies that are in here.
That 2-year-olds are being handed tablets. And when 69% of parents say they are addicted to their phones, spending as much time scrolling as they do interacting with their own children, it becomes very difficult for
Wait, what? I'm sorry. There's a lot of good stuff in this. What did he say about
generation raised in that environment?
What about
9% of parents say they are addicted to their phones, spending as much time scrolling as they do interacting with their own children. It becomes very difficult for a generation raised in that environment to develop the ability to focus or even self-regulate inside the classroom, especially when they lose access to their device.
Within a school setting, it's not uncommon to have classrooms that have a really hot child, and that on a
I'm sorry, that was hilarious. She needs to be careful about her phrasing. Guys, this is okay. I got to tell you, if I would have said that, or like a male teacher would have said that, even though it was like she didn't mean it the way it sounded, Imagine if she was a man and she had said that, made that comment, and someone clipped it. Anyway, um, did anyone hear? Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. All right.
Regular basis, that room is having to be cleared so that that child can figure out how to regain their self-control.
Yes.
And so then teachers now having to remove, just say they're below fourth grade, they're now having to remove 21 of their children. 1 to 3 adults are needing to step up to help regulate a child. And so you start looking at the time demands and the lack of learning that's now happening with the other 21 children. I mean, it's not even funny because it's
So I've never heard. Okay, Lacroix says, what does that mean? That when she, I don't even want to say that phrase on the internet. When she said that phrase, she means when a child loses their emotional regulation. Okay, you're right. You're right. A valid axiom. Like when you have a very angry child, and I got to tell you guys, more and more kids cannot regulate their emotions. It is true. She's saying this right. Right. Like all right. Let me go back here.
Children, it becomes very difficult for a generation raised in that environment
Yes.
to develop the ability to focus or even
Hello,
self-regulate
Marzipan.
inside the classroom, especially when they lose access
I
to
don't
their
know.
device.
I don't know, Louise. I would never have chosen that word, but
in
okay.
a school setting, it's not uncommon to have classrooms that have a really hot child. And that on a regular basis, that room is having to be cleared so that that child can figure out how to regain their
Yes.
self-control. And so then teachers now having to remove, just say they're below fourth grade, they're now having to remove 21 of their children. 1 to 3 adults are needing to step up to help regulate a child. And so you
Yes.
start looking at the time demands and the lack of learning that's now happening with the other 21 children. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not even funny because it happens every day. Some of them are related to children being asked just to work because they have so
Yes.
little attention that being asked to work is such a cognitive load.
And when you have a generation already entering
This is so true, guys. It's so true. I don't know, Luke. This is the thing. That's one of those mysterious things that I think people are still studying, is that there are so many more children out there who cannot emotionally regulate. And then what happens is, like, one kid loses a patience in the class. Think about it, guys. You have 30 kids. All it takes is one kid to ruin it for everyone else. And then if that kid loses their cool, like like Luke, like iPads or this is why I always said, guys, and all of you yelled at me when I said this. Not all of you, okay? Where I'm like, we need to ban iPhones in schools. I think we need statewide bans on iPhones in schools, okay? Because I can promise you, one of the biggest things that cause conflicts in schools is when a teacher has to ask a kid to give up their phone because they won't stop playing on it. And then suddenly it causes a big breakdown where all 29 other of those students, okay, are no longer learning. And then there's a fight breaking out because of it. And then you see what I mean? And it's been happening more and more where students cannot like regulate their emotions. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's something to think about. All right. Yeah. And Louise, you're right. There's actually been studies on this that kids' attention spans are going down. It's dropping. Okay. It's dropping. Okay. And that's what I've experienced. And I've my attention span has gone down. I've noticed, I think maybe because of the internet. I don't know.
in school with weaker foundational skills and shorter attention spans. The sudden shift to remote learning during the pandemic resulted in the largest learning loss in
No, I get it. Weirdomorphous Blub, I get it.
modern history, skipping over some of the most critical years for developing reading, focus, and basic comprehension. And because the system continued pushing students forward, despite lacking those foundational skills, it also widened the gap between the students whose parents were more present during those years.
Welcome, Inverted Panda. Yeah, this short form content, the TikTok, the whatever it may be. And I gotta tell you, like, it's affected me too. And I need to at some days I'm like, I really wish I was never exposed to this stuff. And then I don't have to look at it because I feel like it's messed with my attention span. Yeah.
Or had the resources to supplement their education, and those who did not. Of the 40% of students who do not meet basic reading requirements, roughly 65 to 70% come from low-income households, with those students being 3 times more likely to be chronically absent from school. And as this gap continues to widen, collapsing academic performance may be the most commonly discussed metric, but this is also leading to serious forms of cognitive decline, increased dependence on digital devices, and even a resurgence in child labor.
Oh, it shows up everywhere. I mean, they're sometimes stealing because they don't have food at home.
And here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. This is like the socioeconomic problems. That's the biggest issue I always had, was it's no way I can teach a kid who's hungry. No way I can teach a kid who the day before had to witness a shooting, or, who makes it late to class because their parent isn't able to bring them to school because they work. There's all these socioeconomic things that make it impossible to teach these days.
And, I guess there was a part of me that used to think, oh my gosh, why is he stealing? But then when you start thinking, oh my gosh, he doesn't have food. He's stealing food because he's hungry. Lack of focus, concentration. When you start talking about just the amount of vocabulary they have in place. I mean, I said it earlier, that a child that comes from poverty enters the school system a million words behind a middle-class child.
And while each of these structural...
It's so true. It's very true. These are structural disadvantages. And a lot of times they're along racial lines, because we have created a economic system where more people of color are impoverished than people that are white. So this is a mess, and it's very hard to figure out how to fix it, except we need to change our economic system maybe, and heavily fund schools, pay teachers more, lots of different things. For those one of my favorite ways of looking at teaching, guys, is the Germans, you guys know this word, Kindergarten, which is a German word. It literally means child garden. And teaching to me is kind of like having a garden, all right? You need to make sure that the plant, this sounds like I'm dehumanizing kids. You need to make sure the plants have enough water, that they're getting sunlight, that they're fed, okay? You need to create an environment wherein they can learn and they can grow. And unfortunately, when you have massive economic problems in a country, the teacher will have to provide a lot more to the students in the classroom to get them to the place where they're able to grow. You see what I mean? And so, unless the kids are fed, unless they've gotten sunlight, unless they're getting exercise, unless they're drinking water, unless they're not experiencing massive trauma every day when they go home, or whatever else it may be, you're not going to be able to teach them a damn thing, and they're not going to grow. So that's why teachers have largely become not only teachers, we are nurses, we provide food, we are therapists, we are security officers, we sometimes are parents, okay? We sometimes are siblings. We have to do all of that because society is not dealing with that. So in order for us to do our jobs well, we have to do those things that society is failing to do. And that is a lot of pressure to put on teachers, okay? There you go. That's my point.
Issues on their own is already creating severe consequences. The nation is now blindly subjecting an already fragile generation to the first large-scale test of how AI will reshape learning. To effectively highlight how concerned we should all be in this pursuit.
What's her name?
Here is
What's this lady's name? I don't want to call her a lady. I'm just going to demonize her. Lindsay McMahon. What's her name? Something McMahon.
a clip of Linda McMahon.
Linda McMahon, that's right.
The Secretary of Education and co-founder of the WWE, explaining the importance of integrating AI into schools.
I think it was a letter or a report that I heard this morning. I wish I could remember the source, but that there is a school system that's going to start making sure that first graders or even pre-Ks have A1 teaching, every year starting, that far down in the grades. And that's just that's a wonderful thing. Kids are sponges. They just absorb everything. And so it wasn't all that long ago that we're going to have internet in our schools. Woo! Now, okay, let's see A1 and how can that be helpful?
So regardless,
A1? Is she just saying A1 so she doesn't have to say AI?
Of whether our students are being taught by the most.
By the way, I would love to have A1 in every school. A1 is delicious, by the way. I love A1. I know you all can hate me. I know we're going to get into a fight now about whether A1 is a good sauce, but I love A1. A Mithril, I mentioned it a long time ago, Casual Volt, but there was a video I saw that was about teaching kids woodland and outdoor skills in Denmark. Yeah, that's amazing, Mithril. That's amazing. I love outdoor stuff.
Technologically advanced.
She means AI. She literally means AI when she says A1, but for some reason she's saying A1 instead of AI.
Tool in the.
No, Burnjabi, that is not true. No one listened to Burnjabi. You're going to get banned from the community. Burnjabi says Heinz 57 for the win. No one knows what that is, Burnjabi.
History of mankind or a bottle of steak sauce. What is clear is that we have very little concern over what will actually happen to Gen Alpha.
Oh, you're asking what is A1? I'm sorry. It's a kind of steak sauce.
In the process. In a recent Pew Research survey of over 1,400 teenagers, many of whom fall into older Gen Alpha, 44% said that they already use AI for at least some of their schoolwork, while 10% said that they rely on it for most or all of it. Nearly half reported using AI for research. More than 40% use it to solve math problems, and over a third use it to edit their own writing. And while the survey didn't directly ask whether students were using AI to generate full assignments, nearly 60% of students said it is already being used to cheat either somewhat often or very often in their schools. And just like
So okay, a little side note here. I have a twin sister, right? I'm a twin. And we were at school together, okay? And sometimes we were in the same classroom. So my twin sister and I were sometimes in the same classroom. And I'm not saying that we would cheat. I would never say that, right? I'm saying in theory, imagine if I'm not saying we did this. I would never say that on the internet. But imagine if you did have a twin in the same class as you and you happen to be sitting near each other during a test. And you know, you can and I'm sure other people did this too. I mean, I didn't do it. I'm just saying you could do this. You know, you can use your fingers to tap on the desk kind of like innocently. So like you can do, let's say, if you like question number 3, three taps, 1, 2, 3. And then the twin or whoever the friend is can do using 1 to 4 taps can tell you is the answer A, B, C, or D. So, you know, question 3. And then, you know, someone might respond 2 taps, which means B is the correct answer. And you can do this. And so, you know, some people don't need AI to do this correctly in a classroom.
The 3 queuing approach, which has been clearly linked to the nation's literacy crisis, AI is now showing similar patterns in how it impacts cognitive ability. A recent study from MIT found that when participants used AI tools like ChatGPT to complete writing tasks, their brains showed significantly lower levels of engagement compared to those who worked through the material on their own. Participants relying on AI not only demonstrated weaker neural connectivity, but also showed lower memory retention, struggled to recall what they had just written, and reported less ownership over their work. Across multiple analyses, AI-assisted work became more uniform, less original, and far more dependent on pre-generated phrasing, reinforcing a system where a rush to completion replaces the desire for understanding. And even when participants stopped...
But seriously, guys, tell me how, if anyone cheated, I never did, of course, I'm a perfect little angel, but in your group says you wrote stuff on your desk with a pencil before the test, that works too. I mean, I say that because, you know, also as a teacher, I have seen like so many ways that kids can cheat. There's some really, I got to tell you, sometimes I feel weird as a teacher. I feel like I need to like give bonus points to some students when they cheat because they're so clever. I never would, obviously. I never would. But like, you know what I mean? It's almost like if you're clever enough at cheating, maybe we should reward you because those are good skills to have later in life if you're being very clever about these things. But anyway, not the cheating part, but like the ways you do it. I had one student, by the way, how dare you, Giselle? I had one student who was brilliant, okay? Absolutely brilliant. And didn't study for a test. And he decided to hack into the Wi-Fi in the building and shut down the Wi-Fi in the entire school because the test was a computer-based test. So he literally made it impossible for us to do the test. And I started getting suspicious because the internet came back on the minute, like a second after the class ended. So suddenly, right when class ended, the internet came back on. And this happened like in other classes too. The internet in the whole building would go out. And then suddenly the class would end at the end of the period and would come back on. And so I ended up the point is I ended up overhearing someone say that he did this, and we found out that he was hacking into the goddamn wireless. And so when I finally confronted him on this, I did the whole teacher thing. Um, but I like tried to channel it into something else. I'm like, dude, you can't do this. Like, this is, you're gonna you do this outside of here, you're gonna get indicted with a federal crime. Talking about that. But then I'm like, you know what? But this is a really good skill you have. Maybe join. So then we worked as a school to find him a place to go to learn coding skills and to work on his hacking skills, because that is a good skill he has. He's just using it in the wrong way. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Using AI, those who had relied on it continue to show weaker recall and reduced cognitive engagement compared to those who had developed the material themselves. The study ultimately shows that while these tools may offer immediate productivity gains,
and I will say a lot of teachers would demonize students like that. Okay, a lot of teachers would demonize students like that. And yeah, they need to get in trouble. And he ended up getting suspended for a couple weeks because that's a serious thing to do. But we also in this school, which was a great school, would try and funnel it into something positive. Okay. And I bet he's making like millions of dollars now, and he deserves it. He's very skilled. Yeah, let's get him an NSA cybersecurity job. Inverted Panda says, my uni engineering students used keyloggers to find teachers' login details and then change their attendance and grades. That's amazing. That's what I mean. It's like, that's a pretty good skill to have. I mean, that's a pretty cool skill. The problem is, anyway, you see what I mean?
Their widespread use in educational tasks is directly tied to reduced critical thinking, weaker knowledge formation, and diminished independent problem-solving ability. Essentially, AI becomes a technologically advanced magnifying glass for all of the problems the education system already presents. And while AI could undoubtedly be a powerful tool for students when presented with the right guardrails, as with everything we've discussed, there are fundamentally no signs that those guardrails are even a priority. So when we consider that Gen Alpha will be entering the job market within the next few years, this rapid pursuit of AI has the potential to fundamentally reduce human cognitive agency, critical thinking, and independent problem solving over time. And so what I hope that we're beginning to recognize is that fundamentally, this is an unbelievably complex issue. There is not one thing that we can point to and say, this is the issue. And it's not only that this has just happened recently, this is decades of decay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's easy to say.
But we've talked about it, guys. This is such a complex issue, right? It's such a and think about it. Let's be honest. No one right now is thinking that schools are the number one issue. Okay, no one right now thinks schools are the number one issue. This is on the back burner right now. This is on the back burner right now. Okay. So Paul Squaw, I disagree. I think I can point to capitalism. That's not the number one reason that there's issues in schools, Paul Squaw. Let's put it that way, okay? Like, we could also talk about how, like, AI and technology, like phones and stuff, are also kind of messing up the situation. And I suppose that does have something to do with capitalism. But you can, in a social society, you can still have cell phones and have access to the internet and have AI. So a lot of it does go back to capitalism. Don't get me wrong, okay? But also, but there's lots of other things too. Also the fact that students are assholes, regardless of what society you're in. Teenagers can be assholes. But I agree, Paul Squall, a lot of it does go back to capitalism. Mithril, the system also leads to a lack of creativity, especially as arts funding in schools has been slashed 100%, Mithril. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot more to this.
Wow, 40% of fourth grade.
No, I agree, Vimenos. I do not like this. Oh, by the way, the kid who got that suspension, it was an in-school suspension. But yes, I do not like suspensions. I think they're stupid because it just makes them puts them further behind. I agree with you. Okay.
Graders can't read, and judge them when half of American adults can't read below or can't read above a 6th grade reading level.
Yeah.
We're talking about serious issues. And as the K-shaped economy only gets worse, because it's going to, there is no incentive for it not to. We're talking about a serious education crisis.
Yes.
Like, this is a serious issue.
But again, this is on the back burner, guys. And honestly, this is a big problem, right? Because we have the world being destroyed through climate change, through incessant warfare, through fascism, people struggling to survive on a day-to-day basis. a lot of these things are being put on the back burner. And this is my big issue, is that this is why we need major changes, and we need them now. Because even if we get rid of Trump, there has been permanent damage done. And it's not going to help to do a slow little fix of these things. We need some major fundamental changes in order to fix these issues that are plaguing our society right now. Otherwise, we're going to be screwed for a very long time. Okay? There's been a lot of permanent damage done already. Mayflower Kid, when permanent, very long-term damage. Mayflower Kid, when my kid was getting in trouble in elementary school, it was because he was bored, so he ended up skipping a grade to help. That's amazing, Mayflower Kid. All right.
It might be convenient. It might be funny to just kind of blame the iPad kids.
Ooh, Mayflower Kid, you should have your son come and invent a tool for me to clip my videos and shit for me.
Or joke about them and judge and all of these things.
Elevator lady.
This is going to impact your future.
You're right.
The thing that we have to take away from this, when we look at the fact that teachers are now making less than they were a decade ago, when adjusted for inflation, and all of the extra responsibilities and just challenges that they're having to face, the fact that there are hundreds of thousands, millions of first, second, third, fourth, fifth graders out there that are having to steal from their school, that are having to steal food from their school because they're hungry.
Thank you. Alyssa knows well about this. Alyssa's children go to a school where they have a lottery to decide who gets free and reduced lunches, because they don't have enough resources to give all their students free or reduced lunches. So they have to do a lottery, because apparently we live, what is it called? In the Hunger Games. And that we still do not have free school lunches across this country. Some states do, most do not. We need free goddamn school lunches. What are we doing? Like, anyway, it's so barbaric. So barbaric. Okay? Jesus.
That childhood poverty is increasing.
Oh, God, good reference, Invalid Axiom, to the lottery. I would have my students read the lottery.
It's increasing.
To traumatize them for life.
It's increasing rapidly. And that there is a dramatic resurgence in child labor. The United States does not have a money issue. It has a values issue. We do not care about our future. That has been blatant. We have been so busy.
Oh, my God, he sounds like me. I like him now. I like him.
Trying to figure out how to make this country great again. That was Ronald Reagan's campaign. It's been happening since the 1980s. We forgot to figure out where is it that we're going. And so with this, we don't cherish the individual.
So he's partially right. I really respect this emotional, like how he's you can tell he cares. Yeah, I really appreciate this. I think I don't think it's necessarily a values issue. Yes, values are a big problem in the United States, don't get me wrong. But where did those values come from? Those values came from a system that promotes those values. And in a capitalist free market system, those are the values that are pushed forward. Individualism, meritocracy in quotes, it's not real meritocracy. Wealth matters, individualism matters. You see what I mean? Exactly, Sir Bart. Like these are traits that we have gotten because of our economic system. And those, and I gotta say, I know that a lot of folks in here have issues with Americans, and I get it, okay? But guys, most Americans are really good people. They're people. They're people. And even even Americans that do stupid things, which a lot of Americans do, a lot of times they do them with what they think are good intentions. Okay, I know that's weird. Like Americans, one thing that Americans do a lot is they'll ask people, "Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from?" Has anyone ever heard that before? Like, or an American becoming curious about someone who isn't from America, and then starting to ask them kind of intrusive questions. That is because, guys, they are legitimately curious because they're not used to meeting people from around the world, and they want this person to feel welcome, and they want to feel a connection to them, even though it can kind of come across as assholey. I mean, some Americans do it because they are racist, but that's like one example. We need to change our system here so that Americans can develop a system where they can be good people And that's what's okay. That's fair, Sir Bart. You say only Americans in this community are valid. Everyone else is an enemy. Okay. Does that make sense? It's like I'm not defending America, the state, the government, or anything like that. Okay. But, I'm just saying it's not necessarily a values thing. All right. A lot of Americans, by the way, are deeply convinced that like having a free market and like not having socialism is good for people. They are convinced that that is the best way to build a society because that'll provide the most benefits to the most people. I'm not saying that excuses it. Again, I'm just saying Americans are human beings. All right. Some have good values, some have bad values, but really it's the system. Is that true, Mithril? Mike Foley, former WWE wrestler, did a positive video about most Americans being good folks. Oh, that's lovely, Mithril. Maybe we'll take a look at that. Again, though, we're not special. We're like every other human being on Earth, but that's what I mean. We try to do what we can. We're not always great, okay, as individuals. As a government, we're horrific.
That are instilling
Elevator
the
lady.
values into our youth.
Thank you, Elevator Lady. You said gifted a tier 1 son to Marzipan. Thank you, Elevator Lady.
They're replaceable cogs in the machine, and that's horrible. It is a tragedy.
Yep.
And it's very obvious that we don't care about our emerging generations.
Hey,
Look
lady.
at what millennials had to go through. Look at what Gen Z is currently going through. I'll even say Gen X.
Sylvie, I Americant. Hello, Elena. Yes, I am Zaddy. Thank you.
It continues to happen. I'll even go as far, and I've said it many times, the youngest baby boomers entered a horrible job market. It continuously happens, and nothing is being done to stop it from happening.
Yes.
The unfortunate issue is that we at least had the ability to not have the technological advancement compound as much as it is now. By the time Gen Alpha is my age at 26, the world will be unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing nothing to guide them.
Yep. Is he gonna?
It is just such a tragedy.
Yes.
I'm not married. I don't have kids, and I don't have any biological little kids in my life. But I do spend a lot of time around family, friends, and I get to I'm privileged to do some babysitting with some people, some little kids that I absolutely love. And I look at them, and they are what instills hope in me the most. The work that I do and how much time I spend on this, and many of you know that have been a part of the channel for a long time. The reason that I do this is because I care about our country, and I care about you, and I care about the people of our country.
I care about humanity. I'm better.
But I really want to have kids.
Thank you, Tiago.
And so I want to do the best that I can to be a good father. And when I look at these little kids, they're 4 and 3 years old. It just fills me with so much joy because I see the future. And I see the ability to be able to instill in them good values. But unfortunately...
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dolly Boy, for the gifting that to Tiago. My mistake. I'm sorry. I missed. I know, Elevator Lady. Is that the second thing you've said today, Elevator Lady, is just to say that I'm wrong? How dare you? Jesus.
Also see the fact that they had a tablet when they were 2 years old. And that, I'm not around enough. Again, I'm not biologically related, but I have heard that they are already at 4 and 3 years old telling the responsible adults to F off. So the oldest boy says that, and then the little girl copies him.
Marzipan, would you explain that more? You said it's an odd place to be in a diaspora. So people from the global south have real gripes against U.S. Americans, like as individuals. Like a lot of Americans are super rude when they go overseas. Absolutely. What do you mean?
And, there's been times where I went to go pick them up. The little girl is scrolling on TikTok at 3 years old. And so there's degrees of challenges to this because we could say, why are the parents doing this? You could say, well, they're having to work. They're having to do all of these other things. I don't know if that's my part to be judging. Do I think that parents need to do more? I think always. And I think that that's always happened.
Yeah.
Do I think that our education system needs to do more? Absolutely. I don't know why phones were allowed in the school.
Thank you. I agree. But that's not... The education system in America is very dark, I should say. well, I should say not dark. It's confusing. So no, that would be a state thing, right? And schools can do it too, and I wish they would, but that's really hard for a school because parents will push back, students will push back. You need the states to say no, no more phones in classrooms. Marzipan, you said there's an idea of Yankee imperialism and lumping all U.S. And I totally get that, Marzipan, and I am not blaming people from the global south from hating Americans individually. It's kind of like how a lot of people in Hamas aren't a fan of Jewish folks because their experiences with Israel. That is a understandable conflation that I'm not going to go after. But I guess but it is true, of course, that Americans are people. Into like we don't have a lot of say over our government, etc. I'm not. We there's more we could do. Obviously, you guys know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to defend it.
But I also understand some of the nuances behind all of these things. Again, what this requires is complex conversations. One of the things that I always do in my videos is that I call for community. I say that these issues are so big that one person is not going to be able to take down social media. It just won't happen.
Mayflower kid.
And in many ways, I actually think that that's good because it shows that what we have to have is collaboration and community. But every time I mention that as the solution, all I get in the comment sections are, okay, but what's the actual solution? And so we are lying to ourselves if we think that there is a bigger solution than community.
Yeah, there is. I'm sorry. This is sad. No, Matt Saigai. But Matt Saigai, I don't even want to get into this conversation, but like it is a conflation. It's saying that all Americans are evil Yankees, right? And that doesn't matter. This is not even a debate I want to have because I get it. I'm not saying I'm not judging that. I get that, right? But like I'm an American, for example, right? And so am I an evil Yankee imperialist? Oh, you see what I mean? It doesn't matter though, because I understand it. That is conflating the American government and the American state and some Americans with all Americans, et cetera. It doesn't matter, but I get it, right? And I'm not mad when people are upset or don't like that I'm an American. Let's put it that way, okay? Because I get it. So yeah.
And what is happening with Gen Alpha and the education system is the perfect representation of that. It is going to take a village to be able to.
Paul Squaw, I hate you. There you go. I don't know, Marzipan Power. You say here, Matt Saigai, Israel is the one that's conflating, not them. No, Matt Saigai. Oh, you're mad at me that I said that some people in Hamas say that. Oh, I get it. You're talking about that. Well, yeah, Ansar Allah, the Houthi group. They literally, a lot of those folks literally openly talk about exterminating Jewish people. Okay, that is a conflation. It is, Matt Saigai. It's okay though. Yeah, but that's not Jewish people's fault, Matt Saigai. Listen, I don't want to get into this debate. I understand that I'm not judging them for feeling that way, but it is a conflation, Matt Saigai. It's not other Jewish people's fault that the state of Israel is constantly conflating those two things. Okay, it's still a conflation, and we could say that too. Yeah, we could also say that okay. Yeah, it's the fault of Israel, but that's my point, Matt Saigai. That conflation is part of Israeli propaganda, all right? And sometimes other people fall into it, and I get it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Israel is the problem, not Jewish people. And yes, the state of Israel is one of the most anti-Semitic bodies on the planet, all right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming the individuals on the ground who think that way. I wouldn't blame them at all. I don't blame them at all. But it is a conflation, though.
Recoup and overcome the losses that we have right now. When I was born, my grandparents told my parents that they didn't want to be involved because they already raised kids. So I was raised without biological grandparents, predominantly. So what it took was a friend of my parents to become my grandpa, and his son to become my, you could say uncle, or I kind of think of him more of like an older brother. And that's really the family I have. My uncle stepped in and he has provided me with a tremendous amount of wisdom. My mom would work, she would drop me off at school, she would work all day, and then she would pick me up and we would clean the school to be able to help make ends meet. And I watched
Oh
the
my
parents judge my mom for doing that. But that was a sacrifice she did for us. When my stepdad came into the picture, him and my mom didn't run off. My mom was cooking dinner and he was sitting at the table with Spider-Man flashcards, helping me learn multiplications. I'll never forget 6 times 8 is 48.
Okay.
That is
I'm
what
sorry,
he reminded me of. And I can even remember.
Okay, honestly, he said that the way to fix this, there is no big solution. It's community. What the fuck does that mean? I'm sorry. Yeah, we need more community, but that's not going to fix the education system. That is definitely not going to fix the education system. If the community is destroyed, which it has been due to neoliberalism, capitalism, and things like that, we need to rebuild the communities and things like that. And how do you do that? Well, we need a new goddamn economic system. We need massive reforms and massive changes, probably revolutionary changes, because like just saying that the community is going to solve this, that's a very privileged position to take. He must live in a very tight-knit community that has a lot of resources and everything. Okay. You see what I mean? That is not how that works. Okay, guys, don't worry. I fix everything if you make me president. Oh, I'd love that, Sir Bart. Yeah, I'd love you as president. Okay. I'd be like your cheerleader. I'd be like, go, go, Sir Bart. We can do it. Yes, we can. Okay, Paul Squaw. I'm waiting for him to tell me that all the adults in his family are Republicans who think trans people are the root cause of all these issues, right, Paul Squaw? All right. Yeah, I guess so. Weird Orvis Blob. Shit solution. Everyone should spontaneously become tutors for every student individually. Yeah, we need major structural changes. Okay, that would really help. Now, there are some things if we don't get fundamental structural changes. That agreed, Vimanos, ban private schools. I highly support that. I highly support banning private schools. If we're not going to get radical from the root changes, there's some other things we can do that are weaker, but that will help, like banning private schools by themselves. You know, that would help. More funding for schools, making sure every school gets funding based off need instead of funding based off property taxes. Okay, because right now the schools in low income neighborhoods have much less funding. We need to make sure those schools are fully funded. All right, we need, like there are lots of other things we can do if we can't if we can't uproot the system, because unfortunately, people probably don't want to do that. Most people don't. All right. Let's see here. We can also ban cell phones in schools, whatever. Okay. Let's finish with what he's saying. We'll wrap it up.
Remember the Spider-Man on the flashcards because we honed in on it so much. He cared about my future. I am a direct byproduct of the adults in my life.
Yeah, politics.
I didn't just willy-nilly come to this point. Yes, it took responsibility on my part and sacrifice and discipline and all of these things. But in many ways, that was instilled in me by these adults. And so what I'm saying is, if you're an older individual, don't...
You see the assumption here, guys? Not everyone has many adult figures in their lives or have reliable adult figures in their lives, right? What if your dad is in prison? What if you have a single mother? Single mother who has to work all the time, so she can't be there to help you as much. What if you see what I mean? What if you live in a neighborhood? Okay. Or what if you're being abused? This is like, he's making it seem like, well, in my personal experience, having these adults and these good parents and stuff, this community is what helped me. Well, yeah, but that's not a fix-all. Okay. Paul Squaw, my parents didn't care about my education at all. I got lucky and had good teachers. Fair. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so he's overgeneralizing.
Be the grandparent that says, I've already done my job. Like, how could you think that way? And if you're a parent and you're doing your best, you're doing your best. But if you do think, man, maybe I'm leaving a little bit.
Okay, so he's blaming teachers. He's blaming parents a lot now. And this is another issue. We can't blame parents either.
The table, or maybe
I mean, some parents we can, but this idea, some teachers we can blame. But we're talking like overall, it's not the fault of parents. It's not the fault of teachers. It's not the fault of schools. It's the fault of these big structural problems, right?
I'm scrolling too much, or maybe I'm missing out on something. Give a little bit more. There's always a little bit more that we can do. These kids deserve it. I just think it is.
So guys, again, you see the problem here. He is, guys, by the way, yeah, I know that doesn't tie into the rest of the convo, and this is why I think it's interesting. A lot of what he said was great, but he's not really seeming to get the point here, okay? His solution is let's put more pressure on teachers, more pressure on parents, more pressure on the schools, which is exactly what one of the big problems is, okay? There's already too much pressure there, and he's doing the same thing. He's missing the point. He's missing the point, okay? Anyway. Yeah, he's got the right spirit. I really like the video, and you can tell he cares.
It is just so sad to see this. It's just, it's mind-boggling. It truly is.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I have much more else to say. I think it just makes me really sad.
Oh, great conclusion.
If this has provided value to you,
yeah, LaQuad,
I would really appreciate it if you...
Okay, guys, I want to say, I know I kind of got him at the end. That was a great video, though. You should support this guy. He has so many goddamn subscribers. I'm a jealous POS, I'll tell you what. Here we go. I'm going to post, there's a link to that video, or if you guys are curious about him, great video. But that's kind of, yeah, there are so many issues with the education system that we need to change some shit. Okay, we do. All right. Okay. Yeah, the first 80% is legit facts, but then he gets personal. I'm like, I mean, but the overall, yes. Yeah, it was a great video overall. I love the video overall, but the conclusions kind of didn't match the what he said in the video. What'd you say, Drusilla? It is true that the grandparents have already had kids. They put daily stress on them to take care of your kids. That's true, Drusilla. I mean, yeah. My point, Drusilla, is like, that's great for the people that works for. That's great, but a lot of folks don't have grandparents or whatever it may be. Okay, so I agree that, like, yeah. All right. Luke says Sam is like Yahweh. He is a jealous creator. That's for sure. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you for watching. That was good. We need to fucking change our education system. Dear God, what the hell is going on? All right. Let's see what we got here, guys. Let's see what we got here. Boop, 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 boop. How's everyone's Saturday? Everyone having a good Saturday? Everyone having a good Saturday? You know what? You know what I'm going to do, folks? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to urinate. I'm going to urinate because you all know my bladder is the size of a macadamia nut. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go pee. And then we will do something else. Yay! Everyone excited? Thank you. Made my Saturday feel better. Great. Oh, great. Thank you, politics. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. I'll be right back. Love you all very much. Yes. Shocking news. I'll be right back. Stay around. Literally, I'll be back in like 2 to 4 minutes probably. So don't leave. Don't leave. Okay. Stay around for more insanity. Okay, the world is still falling apart, and you're racist. If you leave, you're racist. If you leave, you're racist and classist, and you love the United States, and you're a Zionist. Okay, that is a fact. All right.
In the dark haze, polarized gaze, trying to find my way to you. Where the space is.
Hey, look, I didn't take that long. I hope I didn't blow out anyone's eardrum by doing that. Hello, guys. How is everyone doing? Everyone good? Let's hand out some boops. We need some boops, I think. Oh my god, ugh, I kind of want to stand again, even though I'm sitting again. Whatever, fuck it. Hello, guys. So let's do some boops. I'm gonna change the camera a bit here. Okay, let's do some boops. Who wants a boop? We get Global Solidarity gets a boop. Boop. Sir Bart gets a boop. Boop. Thank you, Elevator Lady. You get a boop. Boop. Luke gets a boop. Boop. Excuse me. Mayflower Kid gets a boop. Boop. Politics gets a boop. Boop. Who else gets a boop? James Nordhoff gets a boop because I always forget to boop James Nordhoff because he's in the background. Boop. Paleontology Dog gets a boop. Boop because I always forget him too. Dolly Boy gets a boop. Boop. Sylvie, you get a boop. Boop. You've been on a roll today, Sylvie. You get a boop. Boop. I don't care, Mayflower Kid. Boop, boop, boop. I'll boop you as much as I want. Okay. Right. Let's see here. Drusilla gets a boop. Boop. Anyone else want a boop? Did I miss anyone who wants a boop? Here, Mithro gets a boop. Boop. They're excellent. Okay, excellent. Anyone else want a boop here? Mithro. Mr. King K gets a boop. Boop. LaQuaw gets a boop. Boop. Anyone else want a boop? Everyone happy with boop? Oh, there you go, Oz. Hello, Oz. You get a boop. Boop. Love you, Oz. You're the best. Okay, Oz has been in here for a really long time, too. Oz is like one of the established members of the community. Love that. A lot of you are, by the way. Okay, whatever. Pizza That Giant gets a boop. Boop. Okay, everyone good. Marzipan Power gets a boop. Boop. They already booped you. Whatever. Everyone booped. Everyone happy. Oh, yes. Weirdomorphous Blob gets a brimble. Brimble. Only Weirdomorphous Blob gets brimbles, by the way. That is specific to Weirdomorphous Blob. Weirdomorphous Blob always gets a brimble. Okay. Matt Saigai gets a boop. Boop. All right. Anyone else want a boop? Everyone else want a boop? Okay, good. We're good. We're good to go. All right, we're good. I think we're all fine. Speak now or forever hold your peace about the boops. All right, so let's see what's going on, guys. Excellent. We'll see how long that lasts. Politics. I'm gonna give you a bonk at some point, just to spite you. Okay. The brimble setting on the wand, huh? Exactly. Marzipan Power. Okay. Weirdomorphous Blob is the only one that gets a brimble. Okay, ever. It was a requested thing for that. Okay, let's see what else we can do, guys. Let's see what else there is to look at. Okay, let's see what else there is to look at in the world. No doubt, there's a lot of horrible nonsense happening everywhere all the time. Object permanence is a problem in our society. That's for sure. Okay, I guess. Okay, let's go on here. Let's see what we got here. By the way, guys, please join our Discord if you haven't already. I think I forgot to. I don't think I actually posted the Discord link in pinned it. Oh, Louise gets a boop. Did I give Louise a boop? I don't know. Whatever. I think I did. Let's see here. Never generate a new link. Boop. Okay. I'm going to post it, guys. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. We have a fast-growing community over there. You can send things for me to react to in the reactions channel. Okay, so if you just click that link I put in there, that'd be very helpful. We have a fast-growing community. Love it very much. And check this 1 minute thing out. Sure, Luke. Let's take a look here, and then we'll go back to the recommendeds.
Today, incoming...
we've watched this before, Luke. This is about Mamdani and the Arabic numerals. Yeah, we've seen this, but thank you, Luke. Okay, all right. Okay, excuse me. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yes, like the stream, guys, if you haven't already. It'll help get more people in here. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Guys, so today, we don't have anything official planned. We're kind of just talking about whatever. So we're gonna see what else, what else we can look at today. Ooh, what's this? Oh, good. You know what? This is good. Is Fetty here? Are you here, Fetty?
Oh, the House.
Fetty has been extremely helpful. By the way, Fetty is now a mod over on Discord. So, yes, the jester boops for thee. Okay, so this was sent to us by Fetty Spaghetti, and it is titled House Pound. Oh, God. Yay. Oh, my God. Yay. I'm so happy, guys. I'm so happy about this. So happy about it. So this says House passes a warrantless surveillance bill. Okay. Okay, this is great. I love this. Okay, you know what? We'll just watch it, and maybe they'll tell you about it so that I don't have to explain the whole thing, but it's another disaster. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. We probably need the clown music for this.
Passed a 10-day extension of FISA Section 702, or the warrantless surveillance program that lets the government read your communications without a judge's approval. But also, the full story is crazy. The Republicans revolted. Trump wanted a clean 18-month extension. Speaker Mike Johnson also tried a 5-year version with some reforms, but both got tanked when around 20 Republicans sided with Democrats to vote them down. And so this 10-day extension was the last resort so that the program didn't lapse on Monday. And a quick reminder, Section 702 gives intelligence agencies the power to spy on foreigners outside of the United States without ever going to a judge.
But at that, well, okay.
The catch, though, is that any American who talks to one of those foreigners, right, a call, a text, an email, they get pulled into the same database. And the FBI, they have a long history of abusing it, right? There was a 2024 court filing that found that the FBI broke their own rules searching the database for information on January 6 defendants, as well as...
Oh my God, guys, who would have thought that the police state broke the rules of a weak law with few regulations regarding spying on American citizens? Oh my God. Oh. I am so shocked and chagrined that the FBI can't be trusted. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Aren't we all shocked? I know I'm shocked. My mind is blown.
People involved in the 2020 George Floyd protests. And so the holdouts for the longer extension, they want a warrant requirement before the FBI can search Americans' data. But Trump and CIA Director Ratcliffe, they have been working hard against that. With Trump saying that the program is critical to, quote, our military patriots on the battlefield, right? A reference to Iran. As far as the feelings of most, maybe Democrat Jim McGovern kind of summed it all up on the House floor saying, quote, are you kidding me? Who the hell is running this place? But hey, for now, follow to stay in the loop and share to spread the word.
So apparently, I thought that they've extended it for 10 days. So right now, Congress is debating whether to extend the warrantless FISA court situation where the American government can collect foreign communications and then also capture American communications that are made communicating people outside the country. This goes back to the Patriot Act. It is, Luke, that George Bush passed that really cracked down on our civil rights and our rights of privacy and things like that. And it has been renewed over and over again by Democrats and Republicans. Only now, for some reason, is there a debate about whether to renew it or not. Probably the Democrats, I'm not quite sure what it's about, but they are. And the Trump administration is having trouble getting it renewed. The best they could do was get it renewed for 10 days, which is shocking. I would have expected they would have renewed it right away. So it's interesting. It's an interesting change that they're actually having trouble renewing it for longer. I'm so patriotic, Matt Sy guy. God bless America. There you go. Yes, you're right, Luke. If you don't have something to hide, you have nothing to worry about. Such bullshit. Okay, I know, right, Sylvie? I'm a dirty communist. Sylvie says, what, the government wouldn't lie? What are you, a communist, right? So, okay, yeah, free Snowden. Totally, Mayflower Kid. Free Snowden. I know, me too, Luke. That's a very common lie there. Guys, I just am brimming with patriotism. If the FBI is listening, I'm brimming with patriotism. Okay, I love this country. Land of the free, home of the brave. Yeah, there's the little pedophile sex ring that controls things. And yeah, we keep breaking international law, and we're an evil empire, and we love killing children and assaulting them, as we mentioned before, Yeah, okay, so we don't really have freedom of speech. It doesn't seem like it, and we have more people in prison than any other country on earth, so there's not really much of a liberty thing going on there. Yeah, and people, there's also the issue that people can barely survive despite being the wealthiest country in human history. But yes, great place. I love this country so much. Zero problems here. you're either with the government or you're the terrorist, CR. Yeah, basically, Sir Bart. You know, that's why I love this government so much. That's why I'm such a patriot. Okay, because, you know, all right. You seem to be no, Matt Saiga. I'm not unpatriotic. What do you mean, Matt Saiga? I love this country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Look, I can even do the whole pledge. Okay. You know what's funny about that, guys? Do you know that? A little side note here. A little side note here. Do we remember when they used to make witches, people they accused of being witches, say they used to make them have to say the Lord's Prayer? So, you know, the Our Father, you know, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And the theory was that if a witch couldn't get through the entire prayer without making a mistake, it would be a sign that she was in fact a witch. Well, we should do the same thing with the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, if you can't get through the whole Pledge of Allegiance, you must be a commie or like a dirty terrorist or something. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of a new cool witch hunt thing for us to do. And I probably shouldn't have put that out there because MAGA might start doing it. But anyway, okay, there we go. This is cool. Cute. Thank you, Fetty, for sending this. One more sign that our government is a perfect angelic state that never does anything wrong. And is just always loves us and never does anything bad for us. Okay. Okay.
Dude, Trump.
Fetty sent us another one. Now, I don't know if you guys heard. This is interesting. I don't know what this is. This says that Trump declared war on bikini bottoms. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know what that's about. Let's see what this is. Okay. There you go, Sir Bart. Sir Bart is the greatest patriot in here. Gotta love Sir Bart. Sir Bart loves America. Sir Bart has an image of George Washington next to his bed, and every morning he wakes up and he kisses it and he breaks down crying because of the love of the country of America. Anyway, okay, okay, let's go. Hilarious elevator lady. Hilarious elevator lady says, "Yeah, Bush. Yeah, Trump is anti-Bush." Good one, elevator lady. Okay, there you go. There you go, Sir Bart. All right.
Dude, Trump just started a war with Bikini Bottom.
No, he didn't.
Yes, check it out.
Wait, who's Bikini? Oh God, am I going to embarrass myself? What's Bikini Bottom? Don't yell at me. I'll look it up. Don't tell me. I'll look it up. I probably shouldn't put Bikini Bottom. Okay, fine. What's Bikini Bottom? What's Bikini Bottom? From SpongeBob? I don't remember who that is from SpongeBob. Doesn't even know. No, I know what a Bikini Bottom is. What is Bikini Bottom? Oh, SpongeBob SquarePants? Who is it? Oh, duh. I knew that. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I did used to watch SpongeBob. See, I can't even remember the stuff I have watched. Okay.
Breaking news! Trump has declared war on Bikini Bottom, and it's just been confirmed that the U.S. military has killed Mr. Krabs in a tactical airstrike.
We killed Mr. Krabs? Why?
Trump said Mr. Krabs was about to hand over the Krabby Patty secret formula to Plankton, which is all he needs to take over the world.
Well, I mean, I guess if he was going to get the secret formula...
He wasn't, dude. It's just war propaganda. Seahawks have been saying that Plankton's super close since 1999.
Really? Then how are we justifying going to war with Bikini Bottom?
Trump said the Pentagon received intel from the Magic Conch shell confirming.
The Magic Conch?
Yeah, look what Trump tweeted.
I asked the Magic Conch if the nasty crab was going to give Plankton the formula, and it said yes. To protect the American people, we killed Mr. Krabs, liberating the citizens of Bikini Bottom. The Conch has spoken. Bro, he's starting a war because the Magic Conch told him to do so?
It's not the Magic Conch shell, it's King Neptune. He's always wanted management change at the Krusty Krab, and he's using Trump to do it.
Why are we listening to King Neptune?
It's because he is compromising pictures of Trump with Ariel.
The Little Mermaid? She's 16, no?
Yeah, dude, people think Ursula stole her voice, but it was really Trump, so she couldn't speak out. It's all about the files, bro. We can't get distracted no matter what.
Oh, Trump just tweeted something. I just asked the Magic Conch if unicorns exist, and it said yes. No way! Hey!
Okay, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, yes, you're right, politics. Bikini Atoll is based off the, Bikini Bottom is based off Bikini Atoll, which is one of the atolls that the United States nuked and using, where we were nuking places to test our nukes, just randomly. By the way, we would oftentimes kill some fishermen or whatever, and we're like, whatever. They shouldn't have gotten in the range of our giant nuclear explosions because we're monsters. Anyway, okay. Love that. So let's see what else we got here. That was funny. Thank you, Fetty, if you're here. I don't know if you're here, Fetty, but that was lovely. Let's see what else we got here. Off-duty cop provoked students at anti-ICE protest. What's this? What the hell? Fetty, you've sent some weird shit, like in a good way. Like,
hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess. Well, NyQuil chicken didn't get me demonetized, so I think as long as we all understand that this sausage is not made for consumption and just for entertainment purposes, we.
Okay, so have you guys noticed there's like a trend of people making like completely disgusting things? We're actually not going to watch this. It's a joke, but like someone was like making NyQuil chicken or whatever. Like NyQuil chicken, and like they were claiming it was a real thing and people were trying it, and it was really disgusting, by the way, and like shit like that. So this is a joke, I think, making fun of people who do things like that. In this case, it's putting glow stick liquid into sausage, making glow stick sausage, which is disgusting. Ugh. Wait, really, Sylvie? Is that true? Because I thought that there was. So wait, this guy is. Was it this guy who did that? Because I don't know much about. I just heard that was like a thing that people were actually. I heard that some people were actually trying it. The NyQuil stuff. He just said it. Oh.
We should be fine. Oh, you know, with the light on, you can't really. Hang on. All right, we got 4 different colors. I say it's time that we illuminate some pork.
Yeah, so this is funny. I don't. It's good. It's funny. I don't want to watch it. It seems boring to me. He's just gonna put it in the. It's gonna be light up sausage. Okay, who cares? But yes, all right. But thank you, Fetty, for sending that. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, who's this? Politics Girl. I love Politics Girl.
I am mad. I am mad all the time.
Who sent this one?
First of all,
this is Louise.
Menopause, something that no real research went into for like the past 100 years because it only affects 51% of the population. So why bother? Secondly, I'm raising a teenager, and said teenager is also about to go off to college, which, since he's my only child, I'm having these weird empty nest mother panic moments about. I'm very sad. It's a lot. It's a big change. But my fears are only compounded by the fact that this administration is now deciding to do automatic military draft registration for boys ages 18 to 24 starting in December, because we're now in a war that no one wants to be in, and the soldiers aren't happy about that. So
guys, at the beginning of this, she said that she's going through menopause, and there has been no research, very little research done into menopause. There has been very little research done into women's biology overall. It is horrific if you look at the history. Like, it was only in like the 80s, maybe a tiny bit before that like scientists and doctors really started deeply looking into the biology and medical things in regards to women. Think about how screwed up that is, right? That like we have barely any medical research and such, and biological research into women because of misogyny, because of patriarchy, because of other things. Women have often been absolutely understudied in medicine. So yeah, there's a lot of times where, most people don't even know how ovulation works. Like, it is a disaster. Okay. Yeah, we still don't study heart disease in women. We don't study, it's still only, and we don't often study cancer in women. We haven't studied it as much in women. There's a lot of things in women we've barely studied, and it makes zero sense. Like, they're 50% of the population. What the fuck are we doing? Okay. And for the men out there, who might not care about this, I know all of the men in here do. You do know that means that your wife, your daughter, your mother could die because there's no information on how to cure her, or, like, so this is bad for everyone, but women especially, obviously. So can we do some more research on women? And so, like, apparently women aren't deserving of treatment for things. And this is a disaster. There's lots of other big disasters too. For example, a lot of times women, hilarious, Sir Bert, women don't get sick, right? A lot of times women are misjudged by doctors for the level of pain they're having. Doctors will, especially women of color, doctors will assume that a woman is not having the same level of pain she's reporting, so that women won't often get the same painkillers that men would get, okay, or aren't granted the same medication because they're not trusted as much. A lot of times women are more likely to be viewed as being hypochondriacs or to be lying about their medical history. It's really screwed up. It's really fucked up. And it sounds like a living nightmare. Sometimes when I read about, things women go through, it's like living in a nightmare. Imagine no one believing you, no one trusting you, saying, no one believing that you're in pain, no one believing that you've been assaulted, for example, no one having done research on the painful medical conditioning you're experiencing. Oh my God, it sounds hellish. It sounds really hellish. Luke, there is the same view on some medical research, like thinking black. Yeah, well, absolutely, Luke. Yeah, exactly, Luke. You're right. That's why I said a lot of times people of color. Okay. So it's literally like a horror movie. The more well, honestly, the movie, I mentioned this yesterday, the movie The Substance is really good at kind of capturing some of the stress of being a woman. There's other movies too that are good at this. If anyone's ever watched Alien, the original Alien movie, the one with the xenomorph who's on the ship and like starts killing people and like eating everyone, and okay, you know what I'm talking about? That some people think that movie isn't very good, rewatch it and try to view it as a metaphor for RAPE, okay? It is a metaphor for SA against women and RAPE. Think about it. You have an alien that attacks you and lays an egg inside of you without your will, and then that thing bursts out of you with besides your will, without you wanting it to be inside you. And that thing has the xenomorph has something that extends from its mouth and comes out like very phallic shaped. And the main character is a woman who's trying to hide from this thing as she's walking down dark corridors. And the movie is all about like being violated and being SA'd and trying to run from beasts, and then having to imagine having a child that is the child of your assaulter. Okay. The xenomorph is literally, yeah. So my point is if for those who have trouble sort of empathizing with the experience of a lot of women, there are a lot of really good movies that kind of try and show what these things feel like. Okay. And they're very traumatizing once you realize what they're about. Okay. There's other ones too. I'll list them sometime. But I really want people to start empathizing with women. And I think a lot of times, for example, guys, men don't empathize with women as much because it's not that they're like evil. It's just that they view them as different because they're a different gender, but they're human beings. And try to put yourself in a woman's shoes. Just imagine you're her, okay, that you're a person and you're experiencing these things. All right. All right. Louise, oh my God. Just today I saw on Insta, someone posted about the 10-year plan on health on the NHS. They first did a recommendation for women, and a couple years later, they did one for men. Guess what? There were more recommendations for support, etc., for men than anything for women. What, Louise? They just got ambassadors? See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Women aren't believed. They're not taken as seriously. Jesus. Okay. Invalid axiom. My mom taught me to treat women as people. That's it. Almost like humanism works. Shocking. I know about thalidomide, Luke. I know a lot about it. Come on. That's like women are humans. They're just like me, okay, or you or whoever. And they feel the same things. Ooh. All right. Okay. Anyway. And her pants with tiny pockets, right? Okay. Anyway, let's go on.
The administration wants our children. They want our boys to be in a war, the same war that our president just threatened to kill an entire civilization in one night. So, nuclear?
Apparently, politics.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Did I mention that I'm mad all the time? I mean, this war is already going to cause starvation and famine and energy shortages around the world, but I guess that's better than the water shortages we keep hearing about, since we're going to be using so much water for these data centers that they're building, so we can be fully surveilled by our criminal government and the weird drugged up tech overlord losers that can't guarantee this.
Can I also point something else out? Okay. I know I keep interrupting her because I'm a misogynist. No. So there's a stereotype, right, that women get. Why are women always so angry? Especially black women. There's this idea that like black women are always so angry and like women are irrationally angry and stuff and frustrated all the time and they just need to calm down and blah, 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 blah. I got to tell you. Okay. I got to tell you. Oh, I got you, Drizella. Okay. I got to tell you. Honestly, I think if let's say that's true, do you blame them? Imagine all. I'm not saying it's true, but to me it would make sense if it were true because I would be angry and frustrated a lot of the time too if no one's listening to me, if my views are being discounted because I'm not the right gender, if doctors are underplaying my suffering, if people are judging me because of my skin color, if I'm a black woman, right? I'd be very angry a lot of the time, very frustrated and prone to outbursts. Okay? I am not saying I'm not saying it's true, Luke. I'm just saying maybe when a woman gets angry, it's not because there's something fundamental about women that makes them angrier. Maybe it's because she has a reason to be angry. You see what I mean? Okay? Like there's a lot of reasons why you might want to be angry or frustrated as a woman, to be honest with you. All right? Yeah, maybe your people are mad because they're oppressed. Like obviously, right? Obviously. So, okay. Anyway.
Product that they're all racing to make won't kill us all. I told you my child's going to college, right? Well, that college costs more than my parents' first house. That first house that my perimenopausal ass still doesn't own. Okay? But that
I love her laughter. Elevator lady. Maybe it's because we bleed one. Oh God, elevator lady. That's also, it's frustrating. I would say, yeah. Yes, elevator lady. I mean, there's also more stress because you have to deal with a lot of things, I guess. But of course, I'm not saying that's true about women. You see what I mean?
He's going to college. He might not even get a job because they're giving all the jobs to like robots or code or whatever. Something that nobody asked for. So I'm mad. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad. There is too much to worry about. I mean, very few of us are having a good time in the land of the free these days.
Yeah.
Where is our pursuit of happiness? Because it is hard to be happy when you are struggling or strapped or just trying to keep your head above water. But does our government help with that? No. Because they passed something called the Big Beautiful Bill that cut almost every social service program and put all of the money towards tax cuts for the ultra rich and untrained masked violent thugs on our streets who put bullets into American citizens' bodies and then walk away scot-free because freedom! There's a plumber in charge of Homeland Security. A plumber who thinks he maybe might close international airports. And the Attorney General is the president's personal lawyer, running a retribution campaign against the president's perceived enemies while leaving an entire child sex and torture ring to walk free. And while the American government is out here pardoning actual criminals, the innocent people of America can now be considered domestic terrorists. We can be considered domestic terrorists if we're not performing Americanism sufficiently as dictated by the standards of the Christian Far-Right Heritage Society. So now, if we're not traditional enough or capitalist enough or Christian enough, the presidential memorandum says we're terrorists. Our healthcare keeps getting cut, but we're going to spend $38 billion buying and building detention centers for, I'm going to go with domestic terrorists. So yeah, I'm mad. I wake up every morning afraid to look at the news, afraid of the terrible thing that has happened while I'm sleeping, what we need to deal with, what we need to manage, what we need to come back from. Because we put a mad king in charge of our country and no one is stopping him.
Yep.
Are we looking at a future where we have no job, or we die in a concentration camp? Are we going to die because we ran out of safe drinking water, or in a nuclear holocaust? This is insane. It has been less than 2 years with this administration, and
She is good. This is a really well thought out, like she's actually not repeating herself and stuff. I repeat myself a lot. I know I'm kind of doing a teachery thing here, but like even though this seems to be an ad-libbed rant, she's like saying different things every moment and it's really well done. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
These are real things.
Yeah, Ben, thank you. A very well structured rant
to worry about. So yeah, I'm mad, but I'm going to tell you this. We have an election this year, and I don't care if you're a lifelong Republican or the leftiest of leftists or someone who has never voted in their life.
Please don't ruin it. Okay. Please don't say that we just need to vote in the Democrats or something. Let's see. I know. I'm sorry. I'm like,
the thing that will make me the most mad is if you don't all come out to vote against this administration and anyone who
Okay.
supports them, because we literally cannot live like this.
Okay.
I know it and you know it. And it is well past time that we did something about it.
Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah, I would like people. Oh God, this guy. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I would hope people. I know. I would hope people come out and vote to get rid of Trump because, yeah, I know, Vimanos, I know. I should, but like, I'm trying not to. It was a great rant. Okay, I don't want to criticize her too much. It was a great rant. But I do wish at the end there, I do wish that at the end there she had said, can we do something about it? Can we actually take action? All right. Instead, like she could have been like, yeah, go ahead and go out and vote. But also we need to do some major, we need to make some major changes. Okay. We need to get out into the streets. Still, I like the rant overall. Okay. I do like the rant overall. Yeah, I know, invalid axiom, right? Call to action is a domestic. Yeah. So, but we still do got to vote. At least I think I still want to vote. I'm not going to criticize anyone who doesn't want to vote for either two parties. I get it. Okay. Like at this point, I have no leg to stand on to criticize people who don't vote. Honestly, that's my opinion. But yeah. Okay. You see what I mean? But we need more than that. We need a lot more than that. Yeah. You can articulate the problems that well, but can't draw out a solution. Exactly. Weird. That's my issue is that she was great. Oh, I know Weird Morpheus Blob. It was great what she said, but we need some understanding about solutions, just like that other guy we watched. But isn't this interesting, guys? Several of these videos has shown kind of a, I don't want to say it's a flawed way in thinking, but like the first guy we watched said all that great stuff about the school system and education, but then the conclusion kind of, and then for her also the conclusion was okay. It wasn't like as bad as his, I think, but she said we just need to vote. So that also was kind of like a, which kind of shows that people's mindsets are sort of limited by the system that we're in, right? We need people to start thinking outside of the system. And that's where our biggest barrier is that people refuse to think of alternatives to doing for business as usual. Okay. It is, Louise. Like, and I really like that video, just like I like that other guy's video. It's just a shame that it ends that way because then it makes it sound like I don't like what she said. I loved what she said. You see what I mean? Yeah, Sir Bart. Apparently there's still too much to lose. And for both of these videos we've watched, the guy, he looked to be in like a nice middle class house or whatever, and she looked like she was in a pretty nice house. I'm not saying that is the reason, but you know, they still have a lot to lose. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But interesting. Okay, but still, great video. I loved what she had to say, and she's right. Women have to go through a lot of shit, and it's very stressful to live in this country. Okay. Yeah, I'm just happy she didn't tell us we had to vote for a Democrat, even if they are endorsing genocide. And Trump. Yo, you're right, Lacroix. She wasn't. That's why it wasn't that bad at the end, because she didn't say go vote Democrat. She said go vote out this administration. We need more than that, but yes, we do need to vote them out, by the way, or we need to get them out, but we need more. Okay, anyway. Still need to be told to vote or they won't. Nope, you're right. You're right, Sylvia. You're right. I'm just saying I wish she would have said that, and we need to do other stuff too, or we need to get out into the streets. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm gonna put my face up, guys. Listen, folks, so I just wanted to chat real fast about the whole voting thing, all right? This is such a hard topic to debate, to talk about, because there are two things to look at here, right? As you guys know, I'm done with the lesser evil voting. I'm sick of it. I have no way to critique. I'm not going to be one of those people that comes out and says, if you didn't vote, you're to blame for this. No, you're not. You're not to blame for it. It's the job of the politicians to get you to vote for them. If they're not offering anything that gets you out to vote, that's their fault. And it's not a lot of people's fault that they don't vote because we have a ridiculously horrible capitalist system where people have to work and you don't get a day off. You don't have to get a day off. You don't get a day off to vote. It takes energy. It takes time. The Republicans have majorly limited voting laws. It's very hard to vote. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and you get to choose one of two lesser evil, the lesser of two evils anyway. It's an absolute disaster, and it is not the fault of people that don't vote that they haven't voted. That's my opinion on the matter. I'm sick of people blaming individuals for not voting. And by the way, it was my job as a teacher as a social studies teacher to constantly tell my students to vote. And I believed it for a long time, not so much anymore. That being said, I also do think it is important that more people do go out to vote to get rid of some of these Republicans because, and that's not to say, and if you don't, I totally get it. Because one of the issues, guys, is that the only big difference between Democrats and Republicans is that the Republicans like want to kill trans people, for example. Okay, I'm only slightly exaggerating there. Or they want to, they want to do what, like, take away women's ability to get abortions and things like that. So, my big concern is the reason I still vote is because I'm trying to protect people like trans folks, trying to do some damage reduction, but that's not what we need. We need much more than that. We need much more than that. Okay, we need much more than that. But yes, but I want to point out that it's okay. I get that if you don't feel compelled to vote. So yeah, but do realize that there is a slight difference between them, only in so much as certain minority groups are mistreated. Okay, but I care about those folks a lot. But all right, does that make sense, guys? But yeah, but still, we need much more than that because we need to root out the system from the stem, don't we? Okay. So they should have to get out. People still need to be told who to vote, or they should be led to get out and organize. Yeah, she should have led with getting out and organize. Okay. What do you mean here, Weird Amorphous Blob? You said, I think Florida is the perfect case study of the failure of the voting for social minorities. What do you mean by that, Weird Amorphous Blob? Like, what happened in Florida? Were the Democrats the ones who passed all the anti-trans legislation down there and such? Is that what you mean? Okay. Voting logically helps more. Locally helps more than I agree. Yes, local voting probably helps more. But again, I don't have a. That is fair, Sir Bart. This is why this is such a tough issue. You can see I'm not taking a fully strong stand on this. I get the because I want major structural change and I want people to decide. You're right though. It is this is complicated. Weird Amorphous Blob, because it meant more and more ground was lost by the Democrats as the Republicans' hold over the state was consolidated. But what would have been the other option there, Weird Amorphous Blob? I'm honestly asking. I don't know the dynamics of what you're talking about. What would have been the other option down there in Florida? You're saying as people voted for Democrats, the Republicans took hold over the state? Yeah, because people were voting for the Republicans, right? See here, voting, let's see here. Okay. I've had this convo with liberals. Look, while Harris even won by my state, so it's like my vote for Cornel West didn't make Kamala lose. Yeah, no, and this, guys, it is not your fault that, anyway, it's such a disaster. It's a disaster. Can we just make radical changes? Can we organize, do a national strike or some shit? Okay, because this, all right. And even when I said, if you vote for a Democrat, that might help protect trans people or something, it might. It doesn't, what was I going to say here? It doesn't fundamentally change it doesn't change the cause of the anti-trans hatred. So it's kind of kicking the ball down the road. It doesn't even do much. Our Democratic Party up till very recently was fervently pro-Israel. Okay. Senator Pizzo, for an example, disgusting liberal Zionist, and now the Democrats are seeking to simply abandon the social minorities. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got you. I got you, Edward Blah. But the Republicans are the ones that implemented those programs, right? Okay. But yes, but Weird Marvelous Blob, the Republicans are the ones that implemented all that very anti-trans legislation. Correct. So if the Democrats had been in charge, it is very unlikely they would have done that. But that doesn't. You guys know I'm okay, but I'm not. I want you to know I'm not defending the Democrats. I hate the Democrats. This is so complicated. I often don't know the answer to this question. Okay, or it's so many facets to it. I don't know. We need some changes. Okay, obviously, we can't just keep sticking with the system the way it is because it forces us to have conversations like this. I want to vote. If we I want to be able to vote for someone who actually changes shit. Yeah, that's it, Matt Saigai. And this is where I try to balance it out. Matt Saigai says, which is why I see the argument against electoralism, but obviously, we still see some value given the current system we exist in. Yeah, at least it's it doesn't help much, but it does help some things. At least it slows down some things. Yeah, that's fair, Weird Morphous Blob. But like, that's the thing, Weird Morphous Blob. They don't really care. It seems like no matter how okay, that's fair, Weird Morphous Blob. Elevator Lady, random, but CR, do you agree that trade sanctions goes against the idea of the freed market? Oh, of course it does, Elevator Lady. Like, I want a China phone, but America won't let me. Maybe you can do a stream. Oh, that's a really good point, Elevator Lady. Gladly, I would gladly do that. Okay, I would gladly do that. Electoralism slowed down a couple 100,000 Palestinian kids from reaching adulthood, definitely. Oh, that's for sure, Paul Squaw. And Paul Squaw, like, again, guys, we can debate this. But so, folks, you're right. It slows it down. So let me see here. Electoralism, but Paul Squaw, that without revolution or without major change, that this death of all those kids was going to happen. That's a horrible thing to say, but both parties are genocidal maniacs. They are. Both parties are genocidal maniacs. So electoralism isn't the reason, like, people voting isn't the reason why those kids died. They would have died whether people voted or not, because whoever was elected or chosen would have killed those people, those children, because they're monsters and they're genocideers. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but you see what I mean? But I see what you mean. Like, if given the opportunity, if we just do electoralism, correct, that is to blame. Without something different and outside of the system, that electoralism is to blame. So I guess I do agree with you. Maybe I misunderstood you at first. Philly Cheese feels like we're just delaying the inevitable overtaking of human rights. Correct, Philly. I mean, they're basically already not there, but it's also still a delay. But that's why I'm saying, guys, the electoralism thing, if we had to choose between electoralism and something else, if you know what I mean, I would go with the something else every time. But we can do both. So why not delay the inevitable and organize and do mass resistance and try to change the system at the same time? I just feel like it doesn't have to be either or. But the one that'll make the real change is not the voting. All right. But again, you all can disagree with me on this. I don't really know if I have an answer on it. And I think a lot of people feel that there's a definite good answer to it, but I don't think there is. So, all right. So, Doug, a free market for, insane, Doug, right? Okay, Nightfall. You say, Nightfall, if things don't change, Casual Revolt, mark my words, the next time 2028 rolls around, this psalm will be ringing out in Washington, D.C. What song? What song, Nightfall? I might not be able to play it, Nightfall.
Le peuple en ce jour sans cesse répète.
I don't know if I can play that. I have to see if it's copyrighted. But that's lovely. That's a French Revolution song. Yes, I love that. So you're saying that? Yes, okay, I agree. Eventually, I think there will be some sort of major pushback. Okay, guys, I'm rambling. All right, so anyway, this is something, guys, I don't have a good answer for. Yes. There you go, Sylvie. That's my thought, Sylvie, is we can do both. I think I'm 100% on board with you, Sylvie. Sylvie says, in my opinion, you should organize, build power, and vote nationally. Else Republicans will keep winning and keep taking away your ability to organize. I completely agree. I agree. I think we can do all. I'd say my major criticism of your position from everything I've seen is that you seem somewhat against the idea of third parties and treat them narrowly as an electoral nuisance when a party can be so much more than simply elections. That's a fair point, Weird Amorphous Blob. That's a fair critique, Weird Amorphous Blob. I think political parties are great in that they do create a scenario where it builds power and it gets people connected to each other and it does things like that. But yeah, that's a good point, Weird Amorphous Blob. Maybe I'll think about that more, but that's a fair critique. I do sometimes talk about how third parties are often detrimental. But yeah, that's been kind of a truism in American history. It's a truism. Sort of something that historians agree on, is that voting third party always ends up benefiting the group that is on the opposite side of your position. But let's see. But guys, Matt Saiga, it is partially true. Historically in the United States, it's true. Like it's been the case that, like, if a bunch of people vote for the Green Party instead of the Democrats, then it's likely the Republicans will win. That's because it's a flaw with our system. And if we don't want that to be the case, we need to not have a two-party system. So this is a very complicated thing, but it's not democracy, Matt Saiga. That's the problem. Matt Saiga, says it's democracy. It's not democracy. It's a two-party oligarchy. So this is complicated. I'm not sure if I have a definite answer to that too. All right. All right. Yeah. Exactly, Sir Bart. It hasn't. Okay. No, so where was Blob? I'm saying that I support there being the existence of other parties. I'm just saying that tactically it might not work to vote for them. Maybe locally it could. I just don't think it will. I don't think tactically it might work very well. Although, admittedly, this is why we need a whole new system. Philly cheese isn't one of the only way to try and break the polarity electorally to get a third party to over 5%. No, that still won't break the oligarchy, Philly cheese, because unfortunately, we have a winner take all system. So whoever wins that election will still get all the positions. So let's say a third party gets 5% or whatever of the national vote. That's the Democrats or the Republicans are still going to win. Correct, Matt Saiga, but we don't have a multi-party system. That's the problem, Matt Saiga, is we don't have. We have a winner take all system, and it isn't. Literally, our system sort of forces a two-party system. It's a mess. But guys, this is a big topic, and I'm not in. Yeah. Let's just put it this way, guys. I would love if there was a third party that could win. I would love that. Right now, there isn't. And there isn't. So right now, it's just not, I don't see it happening. But I don't know. But that's why we need major changes, because just voting isn't going to do it. All right? Just voting isn't going to do it. And that's the problem, though, Mithril. For those that are saying we need to infiltrate, I kind of, Philly cheese, we need to start over. Infiltrating local Democratic parties isn't going to do it. I'm sorry. It isn't going to do it, because the Democrats have shown that they snipe anyone who rises up within the system. Okay. They snipe anyone who rises up within the system, who tries to undermine them. Now, I would hope that works out. We can try to undermine them, but you're not going to get into the big leads in the Democratic Party. Yeah, exactly, Paul Squaw, unless you follow the party line. They are monsters, and this is a big problem, okay? Okay. So anyway. So Weirdomorphous Blob, I think we kind of disagree with each other on this point here. Weirdomorphous Blob, do you think that a party could, but like that's my point, Weirdomorphous Blob, you would have to get over half of all the people in the United States to side with the party for them to win. Essentially. I'm only slightly exaggerating. They can win some local elections, but a third party, that would take years and years and years for a third party to build the power to do that. And in the meantime, they might result in the other side winning a whole bunch. That like American democracy has been set up to be non-democratic and to not let in third parties. So I don't see how a third party could possibly, okay, it's not going to happen right now. It's just, I don't see it. It seems impossible to me. And I'm saying that also as a historian here. Like throughout American history, third parties always end up crushing, always end up destroying the opposites, like the chance of anyone near them on the political spectrum. But that's the problem. And that's the problem why we need a new system, right? So I feel like it is actually a bad idea to say that third parties are the solution, because they're not. But I got what you mean, Weirdomorphous Blob. They have tried, Weirdomorphous Blob, there have been multiple parties that have tried that and they failed. They failed miserably. So I'm hoping that maybe that can happen, but we have the Greens, we have the Libertarians, there have been there's the Communist Party of the United States. All of them have failed to do that. But all right, well, whatever the case may be. So, but we can disagree on this, Weirdomorphous Blob. We have our system is set up to prevent these none of these two parties from winning, if that makes sense. Yeah, Eugene Debs. Now, I will say Eugene Debs, that is a good example there, Luke. So let me remind myself here. Eugene Debs did get a pretty big percentage, but in the end, that ended up benefiting. So yes, and what happened to them, Weirdomorphous Blob? They were shut down. After Eugene Debs won and started winning, they were massively counteracted, were they not? And crushed. And he won it from prison. Anyway, my point is that we need major reforms. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see here. Let's see what else we got to do, guys. Oh, it is Luke, but then they crushed him immediately. They refused to let him. And I'm like, I want to point out, Weirdomorphous Blob, I don't have you know this, I don't have a monopoly on truth in this regard. A lot of folks out here, this is why I'm saying I don't really know what the answer is to this. Okay. Oh, I know, Weirdomorphous Blob. Forgive me, Weirdomorphous Blob. You know I love you, okay? Anyway, guys, so all right. But I think we can, as Sylvie said, chew gum and walk at the same time, okay? Anyway, so let's go on here. All right, so let's see what else we got to do. Okay, let me see what else we got here. All right, let's watch this. This was sent to us by Fetty also.
Last year.
Oh, good God. God damn it, Fetty. Are you here, Fetty?
Last year, the president assured us that he ended their nuclear ambitions.
Okay, one second. Do we have to listen to Pete Buttigieg? Okay, we'll see what he has to say. Nope, Tiago, we've already watched that video. The video you sent, Tiago, we'd already watched it on stream. Sorry. I forgot to tell you that. But we already watched that video. All right. So all right, let's see here. So here, let's see this Pete Buttigieg thing. Good God, help us. Okay. So this is Let's watch this. So this is Pete Buttigieg triggers meltdown from MAGA host over Iran war. Okay, to be clear, not a fan of Pete Buttigieg. He's very good at talking. He's very good at talking. Thank you, Marzipam. Okay. He's very good at talking, but not very good at doing anything else. How dare you, Paula Squaw? Not a fan of Pete Buttigieg. Mainly because he's gay. I'm just kidding. But whatever. Let's watch it. Maybe he'll piss people off and I'll be happy about it. Okay. All right. Rat boy, exactly.
Last year, the president assured us that he ended their nuclear ambitions. If he wants to come clean with the American people that he failed to do that, then he has to say that before he launches a war.
Democrats at that time said, no, you haven't. And then you haven't.
Clearly he hadn't.
That's true,
Clearly that he hadn't. So then we needed to go back and take care of it, unless you really think it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
But again, they don't have a nuclear weapon. They weren't about to get a nuclear weapon.
How do you know? Why do you keep saying they weren't about to go? Steve Witkoff said they had enough fissible material for 11 bombs.
So are you acknowledging the president lied when he said that
I don't
their
know what
program
he did.
was
No one knew what happened at Fordo.
Either he didn't know or he was lying. Okay. Which is it?
Is that really the point?
Luke,
Luke,
I see you plotting against me in the chat. How dare you?
Whether or not he was knew it was obliterated or not is not the point. If it wasn't obliterated, then you have to do something. You can't go back and say, well, you lied about this, so that we can't actually do what we need to do.
Joe, America is weaker because the president launched this war.
That's your opinion. That's not.
No, but it's clear, and I'll tell you why. Because
we had
when
the
Trump,
Secretary of
yeah, I think he is. Is he a Zionist? I think he probably is a Zionist. Let's, you know what? I can't stand Pete Buttigieg, but you know, let's see here. Pete Buttigieg. You know, I don't even listen to anything. I don't know much about his ideas apart from I know he has shitty ideas. Yep. Look at this, guys. Oh, great. Yep, he's definitely a Zionist. Okay, well, fuck him. Okay, fuck him. You know what? We don't even need to watch the rest of this. Fuck it. Okay, we don't need to. We get it. He's a monster, and I don't like him anyway. He's a liar. Yep. So fuck him. Whatever. Moving on. Let's find something else to watch. All right. Let's see here. Ooh. This was sent to us by Gwen.
Part of the reason we have this problem with the Strait of Hormuz is because I don't think Trump knew it existed.
No.
I genuinely don't think he...
Weird Amorphous Blob. Mayor P, I like the wine moms, love him unconditionally because he's gay. It's so true, though, Weird Amorphous Blob. That's why I hate it. He is the perfect example of how the Democratic Party use identity politics to hide the evil of these people. Okay. And Tiago, I didn't see it because I was up the page. This is calm down, Tiago. Okay. This is only 33 seconds. This video. They're always like, he's gay. He's the best. He's the greatest. No, he's not. Okay.
Knew where it was.
How dare you,
and
Luke?
That is terrible for the world, but very funny.
He'd probably think
I swear to God,
it was some sort of mild insult. Are you straight as Hormuz?
I'm the straightest Hormuz around.
I'm even straighter than Hormuz, by the way. So much straighter than Hormuz. That guy. And sometimes I sat there going what are we doing? He's not heard about any of this stuff. He doesn't know about any of this stuff. But we always have to pretend
he doesn't.
He does.
Obviously, he doesn't know. Yeah, it was insane, Paul Squall. Obviously, he doesn't know. Trump doesn't know what Hormuz is. He doesn't know what Bahrain is. He doesn't know what any of these things are. Okay, do we know that Hormuz is actually an island? It is. There's an island of Hormuz. And the Strait of Hormuz is around the island of Hormuz. I bet he doesn't even know there's an island named Hormuz. Anyway, whatever. You know what? He doesn't know shit. Trump doesn't know a goddamn thing, obviously. Yes, Sylvie. Did we all hear about that? Where Trump doesn't know what a corner store is. He doesn't know what a corner store is. Literally. What was that? Let me see if I can find a clip of that. Trump corner store. because he's a rich POS. Trump. Here it is.
Millions of American small businesses, including restaurants, dry cleaners, corner stores. What is a corner store? I've never heard that term. I know what a corner store is, but I've never heard it described, a corner store. Who the hell wrote that, please?
Don't worry, guys. He's just like you and I. He's just like you and I. He's just like you and me, right? He's just like you and me. You know, clearly he knows about the daily struggles of working class Americans, especially living in cities, and the idea of going to a corner store. He has no idea what that is. I hope they are, okay? Yeah, where he said that groceries is an old-fashioned word. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. Actually, Mythril, I would not be surprised if he ended up thinking that a corner store is where someone buys corners. Yes, I know, right, Viminos? Your favorite is that he doesn't know the difference between asylum seekers and insane asylums. Correct. Jesus. Dear God. Anyway, yeah, they sell corners. Like, come on. We know that I'm not even joking. We know that he's that dumb, right? We know that he's that dumb. Like, he says some of the dumbest shit imaginable. What was it that he called the Trump thinks Nigerians speak what is it he said there? He said Trump Is that what it was? Was it Nigeria? I forget where was he, guy? Who was he talking to? He was talking to some people that had come from I don't know. I think it was I thought it was Nigeria. He was talking to some an ambassador from Nigeria, and he suddenly turned to the guy and said, "Wow, you speak English so well. You know, you're such a good English speaker for being from Nigeria." And the guy responded to him, "Well, English is our national language." Oh my god. Oh my god. I think it was Nigeria. Maybe I'm wrong. He was meeting with someone, and it was so humiliating. It was so humiliating. It was so humiliating. The fact that he even said that to a black person too is classic. Just, you know, all this shit he says, okay? Trump, was it Liberia? I want to find that clip. Trump says, "You speak English." Oh, that's right, Liberia. Forgive me. Okay, listen.
And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity. Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. That's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table.
Oh my God, it's
speak nearly
humiliating.
as well.
And we just want to thank.
Oh my God, it's so humiliating. I can't believe. Jesus. Okay. Ugh. All right. Isn't that great? Like, the English is their national language, and he's like, "Oh, you're a black person. You know, it's so shocking how that you can speak English so well. You're so well spoken." Like that kind of comment. Oh my God, I can't. All right. So just, you know, the daily humiliation of being an American and having this man as president is very, I mean, that's not the only thing that's humiliating about being an American, but this is definitely one of them. Anyway, okay, so let's go on here. Let me see what else we got. Let's see here. All right. We've watched this one too, Tiago. We've watched this one too. The crazy shit Americans say in my comment section. Yeah, we've watched that one too. You haven't been around much, Tiago. Okay, so let's watch this. This was sent to us by
If
Sylvie.
you are a Mario Kart fan, government is Yoshi and philanthropy is the golden mushroom. That edge we need to beat Bowser on the Rainbow Road. To belabor this metaphor even further, Bowser is corporate greed in this scenario.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, he's making that's a funny comparison. All right. Okay. You guys want to watch a fun one? I don't know. Let's watch a fun one. Let's find something fun. Yeah, totally, Marzipan. It's just humiliating. Don't do this, Mom Daddy. Just a fun little clip. That was cute. All right. Gotta love Mom Daddy. I know, right? So let me see what else we got here, guys. Why is mine going slowly? La da 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 da. La da 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 da. All right. Bless the Epstein question that broke Trump's brain.
Bless this question asker who confronts J.D. Vance with the Epstein situation and watch how he crumbles.
This is called Bless the Epstein question that broke J.D. Vance's brain. Hello, Fetty Spaghetti.
Instantly.
The first lady said Epstein was not acting alone and had to be held accountable. She said and called for a congressional hearing, but President Trump multiple times called the files a hoax. If there are
I've never heard this show. This is called The God Show. I've never heard of this show. So is he pretending to be God?
Government officials in those files, how can the public...
On a side note, do we guys see how God is often portrayed as a white-haired man wearing a toga or a robe? Almost like he looks like Zeus. Like Zeus, the head of the Greek and Roman gods. Okay? There's a reason for that. All right? There's a reason why God is often portrayed the same way that Zeus is. Okay? And that's because, you know, this was a religion that was founded in the Mediterranean basin, and they already had a lovely supply of gods to draw from to base their inspiration off of. Anyway.
Trust that this administration will hold anyone accountable when its own Justice Department is actively blocking the investigation.
Here's my view on the Epstein matter. Number one, the guy was clearly a scumbag, okay? Number two, he clearly had extraordinary connections both with intelligence services, both inside the United States and outside the United States, and also with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people, okay? Number three, I have been a firm advocate and will continue to be a firm advocate of where we have something, and you know, like, I'm probably more obsessed with this than most officials, okay? Probably more obsessed with this than most people even in this room, is when you see somebody who says something in an email that suggests, you know, there's one email I read, and it's been a little while ago, but it was talking about, you know, one person sent an email to...
He admitted he's obsessed with the Epstein emails?
And now he's like, whoa, whoa, he's getting into Pizzagate? What's going on?
Grape sodas or something like that. And I remember it sounded like the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, but here it was in like an email from a guy. And my reaction
I don't get it. What are they talking about? Okay, wait.
We should absolutely investigate that person, okay? And, you know, you remind me, I'm going to follow up on that to see whether we've investigated that person because
you're going to follow up now because of this person's question?
Wait a minute, guys. What did I must have missed it. What did the guy say? What is the guy asking him about? Did I miss it? I must have missed it. Maybe I was too busy babbling. What did he say? What are they talking about? What did he ask him? I don't want to have to go back. What did they say? They said something about Mossad? God damn it, I missed it. Shit. I ruined the video. I ruined everything. Do I need to restart it? Should I restart it? I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out, guys. Someone give me guidance. What do we do? Go back. I don't want to go back. Does someone know? Like, just tell me. What did he say? What was the question that Vance got asked? Okay, I was distracted. I have ADHD. I'm a victim here. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. Thank you, Tiago. Okay. Should I go back? I'll go back. Fine. Fine. Marzipan power, whatever. I'll go back a little bit. Let's see what the question was.
Justice Department is actively blocking the investigation.
Here's my view on the Epstein matter. Number one, the guy...
Here we go.
Epstein was not acting alone and had to be held accountable. She said and called for a congressional hearing, but President Trump multiple times called the files a hoax. If there are compromised government officials in those files, how can the public trust that this administration will hold anyone accountable when its own Justice Department is actively blocking the investigation?
Here's my view on the Epstein matter.
Okay.
Number one,
I get
the guy was clearly a scumbag. Okay.
Like
Number two,
Donald,
he clearly had extraordinary connections both with
I'm going to start handing out bonks here. Don't make me bonk, all of you. I am seeing a lot of disobedience and rudeness in chat. How dare you? I will start handing out bonks. God help me, I will hand out some bonks. Okay, LaCroix, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Shiv. All right, you too, Marzipan Power. I can see that. All right. Don't make me do it.
Intelligence services, both inside the United States and outside the United States, and also with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people. Okay? Number 3, I've been a firm advocate and will continue to be a firm advocate of where we have something. And you know, like, I'm probably more obsessed with this than most officials. Okay?
You're sick of me.
Probably more obsessed with this than most people, even in this room. Is when you see somebody who says something in an email that suggests, you know, there's one email I read, and it's been a little while ago, but it was talking about, you know, one person sent an email to...
He admitted he's obsessed with the Epstein emails?
And now he's like, whoa, he's getting into Pizzagate? What's going on?
Wow.
Sodas or something like that.
Okay.
And I remember it sounded like the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, but...
Politics, I'm going to give you a bonk if you don't calm down, okay? You calm down, politics. I hope you know, politics, the bonks are a joke, right? I'm not actually mad. It's more like an honor to get a bonk, right?
Here it was in like an email from a guy, and my reaction to that was, we should absolutely investigate that person, okay?
Okay.
And
by the way, Sylvie says, the Lord boopeth and the Lord brompeth away. That's funny, Sylvie.
You remind me, I'm going to follow up on that to see whether we've investigated that person because
you're going to follow up now because of this person?
Yeah, LaCroix, that's an excellent point. LaCroix says Peter Thiel's Blood Boy will definitely be able to make Americans feel better about the Epstein files. Right, guys. Remember, Peter Thiel is the biggest funder of this monster right here, JD Vance.
This question, are you going to follow up because this kid asked a question at a Turning Point USA event that's empty? Oh, now you're going to follow up, huh? Sure you will.
Thanks for the reminder. Let me put a pin in that.
Thanks for the reminder. I had totally forgotten about the Epstein thing.
I'm going to ask Pam Bondi. She still works for us,
right? The president's wife came out last week, unbeknownst to him, to throw him under the Epstein bus. But yeah, I had forgotten.
We absolutely should. When you see evidence of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, regardless of whether you're powerful or not, in fact, you should probably investigate it more if you're a powerful person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. What a shocking statement. Oh, my God, he's so radical. Who would have thought that if a powerful person does something illegal, it should be very investigated and held accountable? Like, that is such a stupid thing to say. It's so goddamn obvious, and he makes it sound like I am such an... Okay, whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, Drusilla, you know what I mean, Drusilla, okay? Yeah, I would agree, but I actually fucking mean it, right? Like, yeah, he's just saying shit and thinks he sounds cool. Okay.
Oh,
like,
interesting. Who's your boss?
Yeah.
Who's your boss?
Your boss is an adjudicated rapist and is in the Epstein files like 1 million times and has covered up everything. And then Pam Bondi released evidence, credible allegations from a 13-year-old who bit the shit out of his dick because he was raping her. And then he attacked Iran that night. This is all public record.
Yep.
It's public record. It's not me making shit up on the internet. It's literally the Department of Justice.
I agree, Luke. I think people in power need to be held to a higher standard and need to be investigated more because their decisions are a lot more dangerous for us than people lower down, okay? He can't think that well because of all the blood he's giving to Peter Thiel. Give him some slack, CR, that's for sure, okay? Yes, you are, Drizzle. You're being bratty, okay? Sylvie says, I love that phrasing. Me too.
Just put out PDFs of the pedophiles, and he was one of them.
Aren't you obsessed, JD Vance? Don't you know all this?
I'm not obsessed, and yet I know this.
You're a powerful person, right? I don't want powerful people, you know.
Oh, look at the applause.
Being involved in this disgusting behavior. But
you
I
don't
have
want to be vice president
on
to American Hitler, as you called him.
When he said that it was a hoax, what he was talking about was this democratic idea that he's connected to Epstein.
Yeah, it's only a
Here we
hoax
go.
if he's connected. It's not a hoax when Democrat. Got it.
This idea that he's connected to Epstein.
Thank you, Jesus. Go off, King of Kings.
Go off, King of Kings.
Idea. His name appears in the files over 1 million times.
Yes.
That's just not an idea. That's a fact.
If you look at those emails, it's like, you know, they were in the same, you know, everybody in Palm Beach knew everybody, okay? Like the president has said.
Oh, right. Guys, don't worry. Donald Trump just had passing knowledge of Epstein. He was just a member of the social circle, you know. There aren't any accusations in the Epstein file that are particularly disturbing, like when he was literally so enamored by watching little girls in swimsuits in a pool that he put his face and he ran into a sliding glass door trying to smash his face against it so he could watch them in the swimming pool. That's not a joke. That is one of the things in the files. It's not like he has been accused by multiple of the girls of being one of the ones who were doing the assaults. You know, nothing like that, of course. He was just sort of he just knew Epstein in passing, right? Zero problems there. It's not like he had been to the island, even though he had, you know? Okay, obviously.
All the pedophiles knew each other? Yeah, no shit.
But what you see in those emails is that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about that
Right,
more.
Sylvie. It's not like not like there's images of both of them.
Email where Epstein called him a disgusting man, right?
That was long after he was like he was a close.
Yeah, it was after their
door.
friendship fell apart or whatever it was.
He was like trying to figure out how to use whatever he had to. Yeah.
And Donald Trump hated Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, one of the emails is
sure.
about Donald
Correct
Trump
politics.
narking on Jeffrey Epstein to the local sheriff,
narking?
saying this guy's a scumbag.
If anybody in the world should not be able to use the word narc, it's JD fucking Vance.
Yeah.
So when the president says this is a hoax, he's not saying it's a hoax that Epstein was the scumbag. He's not saying that it's a hoax that Epstein was connected to powerful people. He's saying this democratic idea that somehow he was Epstein's best friend, that is a hoax.
It sure took a lot of explanation.
The emails, it's
Wow, that's actually interesting. That's kind of a confession. He's like, I'm not saying they didn't know each other, have a relationship with each other, and I'm not saying they weren't friends. I'm just saying they weren't best friends. You know what? Okay, deal. They weren't best friends, but they were definitely friends. Okay, you know, even though they probably were best friends.
Obvious that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald J. Trump. And, and by the way, one of the best signs.
I know they were best friends, Luke. I'm just saying, like, hell, if that's what he's come to is simply saying, no, they're not best friends, they're just friends. I'm okay with that. That's an okay argument that he's making. It's at least he's admitting they know each other and shit. Okay.
For whether you're a good person or not, for whether you're a decent human being, is if the worst people in the world hate your guts.
Oh, please. Oh, my goodness. That is your defense?
Donald Trump hates a lot of people, and those people he hates should wear that as a badge of honor. That's
true.
The truth.
The fact that Jeffrey Epstein hates Donald J. Trump is a pretty good thing for Donald J. Trump.
Oh, he's so proud of his answer there.
Well, I hate you. And I'm one of the best people in the world. This is the man who called Donald Trump American Hitler.
Oh, yeah. JD Vance hated Donald Trump, too.
And let's not forget, this is the man Look at that. Okay? He posted a picture today of you hugging him. Of course, it's only AI you. You would never do that in real life, Jesus. But I want to look at this picture more closely because it...
Okay, we get the idea here. This is cute. I've never seen this channel before. I guess so. I asked why the chair he's sitting in is so small. Maybe I don't want the... Yeah, that's a good point, Lurking Snow Leopard. Jesus. Yeah, that's for sure, because they don't want to let any couches near him, right, Lurking Snow Leopard? All right. You know, that I think there might be a court order against him being near any particularly large couches. Anyway, do you think love seats count? Do you think JD Vance, if he can't find a couch, he tries to find a love seat? You know what I mean? You know how, like, there's a difference, obviously? Love seats are not the same as couches. So is that like, anyway, moving on, you know? Anyway, okay. Why do you think they call them love? That's for sure, LaQual, but I don't think he does it for love. You know what I mean? All right. Do you wonder if he doesn't have a love seat, do you think he has to find like a lazy boy? Has to pretend it's a love seat or something, and therefore pretend it's a couch. You know what? We don't need to get into this. You're right. I think a love seat is the teenager. Well, in that case, he probably does love that shit, right? All right. Because we all know that the people in this administration all have a strange they seem to like children a lot. Let's put it that way, okay? All right. So that would just fit with the fundamental American values. All right. So moving on. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? You know what? You know what, guys? The Gooniversary. What's this?
Have you been?
What? This is a thing from, they have an affinity. There you go. This is a thing called the Gooniversary. What is that? What the hell is this, guys? Does anyone know what Gooniversary is? I don't really want to know. Should I not watch it? What is Gooniversary? And please don't tell me it has anything to do with the first part of this one. Not this? Why not, LaQual? What is it about? What is this about? I literally don't know what this is about. Don't watch? Why? What's bad about that? I know what that word means, but is that what that means in this context? Okay, I'm going to have to look it up now. Okay, Sir Bart, but I just want to know why I can't watch it. Okay, you know what? I'll look it up right now on my own screen. Gooniversary? What is this? What is it about? Oh. Oh. Oh, wait, no, that's not. That's something different. I still don't get it. I can't find anything about this. What the fuck? Someone, what do I need to look up here to understand what this story is about? No, I know what the word, what Goons means, like, but what is this story about? Like, did someone just tell me shouldn't have covered this? What does it mean? Okay, thank you, LaQuad. This guy got called out publicly for making women working a drive-thru watch him. Oh, dear God. Okay, so we're not going to watch it. We're not going to watch it, but thank you for educating me. Let's see this one. A man with that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay. I'll put it up here. This is a true story. A man without pants shoots himself dead. Weird and I'm not going to watch that video. A despondent man fatally offed himself after he was caught with his pants down, literally, in his car at a coffee shop in Arizona. Jesus Christ, okay. Arizona, according to police. The motorist, Nautica Malone, began his journey towards the end of his life last weekend, Wednesday, when he pulled up to the drive-thru line at Bikini Beans Coffee. Bikini Beans Coffee, that sounds like... Okay, and was approached by an employee who noticed he did not have pants on while taking his... Oh, God, okay. Oh, God, all right. Police said the employee told her manager as Malone rolled up. Speaking about what women have to deal with, Jesus rolled up to the drive-thru window, still naked from the waist down. The manager already allegedly whipped out his cell phone and recorded the video of Malone, who was enjoying himself, I guess you could say. I don't know how to frame that. He was doing something to himself. I don't know if I can... Whatever. This video was subsequently uploaded to social media and quickly spread him online, with millions of viewers commenting and accusing Malone of inappropriately touching himself in front of the manager. Oh, and then okay. You know what? I don't have any commentary for this. You know what? You're right. Maybe I'll let you all decide, if you want to read this story, if you want to learn about it. I don't know if this is I don't think this content is necessarily topical to my channel. But this just don't assault women. And maybe you won't be demonized by people. Okay, maybe you won't feel pressured and have your photo put on the internet if you by doing shit like this. Okay, anyway, so there we go. That's gross. He did it in a bikini coffee shop. I know you believe this, but these women shouldn't be of course not, LaQuabois. Yeah, they should not be. You're right, LaQuabois. They shouldn't be subject to that. And so are you saying that there's a bunch of people out there that are upset and say that he was a victim because he was demonized for doing this? Okay, well, maybe don't do that to women then, okay? All right. Tiago, it's exactly what it sounds like. Okay, people had memorials. What? Okay, well, whatever. I mean, it is sad. He shouldn't have felt... I mean, he deserved he deserved how people treated him. But it is sad that that is not a crime that deserves you to be executed. You see what I mean? Or to feel that you need to unalive yourself. Clearly, there's something else going on there in his head, but we don't need a memorial for the guy. What do you mean? Okay. All right. The Gooners were very upset. That is crazy. Jesus Christ. Okay. What is wrong with this planet? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? We have other important things to talk about, etc. Why do we need to talk? Okay. Anyway, this is my fault. I'm not saying that it's my fault. I'm just saying, it's my fault. Anyway, that I even mentioned it. I didn't even know what it was. Okay, guys. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to put my face back up. So, guys, I'm going to go. I know I haven't streamed terribly long today. I've streamed for about 3 hours and 47 minutes or something like that. I might come back on later, actually, but I have some stuff to do, okay? I have some stuff I got to do today. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave all you, and I'm going to abandon all of you, okay? Thank you for everyone who donated. All right, really, thank you for everyone who donated. I've got to go do some personal things, and tomorrow is Sunday. Those are the days I normally have off, okay? I normally have Sundays off, so I might stream tomorrow, but I might not. But we'll see. So keep an eye out and see if I go live tomorrow. And again, I might go live later today too if I'm up for it, all right? So I love you all very much. Thank you guys for stopping by. Please enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We're going to have a lovely day. Okay, Sundays are for the Lord. Yeah, exactly, LaQuan. I'm going to be at church. Don't worry. All right. So you all know what I'm about to say, don't you? Okay, you all know what I'm about to say, don't you? Okay, first of all, guys, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves, okay? The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves and disobey authority figures. I'm just a guy on the internet. I get things wrong. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo, okay? Because the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. We're living in a fascist moment in this country, and fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions. We need major reforms. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you, and don't be a slug. I know you're all strong. You're warriors. Fight back against the fascists. On the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. It is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there, guys? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today. Some of the rights we have, some of the freedoms. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. Please, please, please do not let their sacrifice go to waste. And always, always, always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, you all have a good rest of your day. Morning, evening, noon, night. I might come back on tomorrow. Again, if you don't have it marked already, guys, hit the bell icon beneath the video on YouTube to be notified of when I go live. And if you haven't joined the Discord, I would do it, because if you do that, it'll make it, you'll be notified. You'll also be notified of when I go live. You can sign up for the streams channel, which will tell you when I go live. All right. So I love you all very much. Send me a message on Discord if you want to chat.